We good? We live? Oh, I think we're live. All right, I'm showing my Facebook right now. That's not what I want. I want to be showing the Zoom meeting. What's up, everybody? My name is Jack. This is a super shaky, publicly recorded mastermind group. Let me try and fix the shakiness, actually. I realize I could do something real quick here to make my screen less shaky. Just like that. All right, cool. That's better. So, the way this works, for those of you watching this part, because I just went live, so if you're watching this, you're watching the recorded version of this that isn't live anymore. So the way this call works is it is a Zoom meeting, just like this, right? This is a Zoom meeting. Anybody can join. You watching this, you could join the next one if you wanted to. If you want to join the conversation, then you have to look in the link, the description of this video, and wow, okay, that didn't fix anything. Look in the description of this video and find the Discord chat link. Join that Discord chat, and then every Friday when I start this call, I publish a link to join the call. So you could just watch the chat and ask questions and I'll monitor the chat, or you could actually join the call and then we can talk. We can talk in person. You could talk about anything. You could share a website that you do or share your store or whatever you want. You're on YouTube now, right? That's the idea. So until somebody else joins the call or people start asking more questions in the live chat, I've got to talk about some stuff. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my progress on Skillshare because I got my first paycheck on Skillshare. I got like $120 something, which is like not a whole lot of money, but honestly, for the first 30 days of doing anything, probably my most successful first 30 days ever. So I'm super happy about that. 1 second. Let's see where I need to go to the live stream so I can see if you guys are talking. And then once I do this, I will update you guys on how Skillshare has been. I'll show the stats. I'll show what my experience has been like because I know a lot of you are like, Jack, you don't dropship anymore. Fuck you. And that's fine. But I think Skillshare is a way better opportunity than dropshipping. Way better. Because it's more reliable. You can do stuff about what you love. You can interact with other people and teach them things that you're passionate about. It's super, super awesome. I need to go to my channel, go to my dashboard. Boom, boom. Come on, how do I go here? Here we go. All right, videos. Live. Here we go. I found it. All right. Hey, there's 4 of you here. Nice. No chat messages yet, though, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I know that I'm going to have to do these calls every week for months before there's, like, regular people joining. Unfortunately, that's just going to be the way it is. So for now, I'm going to show you guys what Skillshare has been like, okay? Skillshare is a course marketplace where you pay 1 monthly fee and you get all the courses instead of paying per course. And I freaking love this. It is absolutely amazing, okay? So what I've been doing is I had this big list, right? And so there's 30 YouTube videos and 30 Skillshare courses. And I just finished all of these. So every day I take 1 YouTube video, I watch 1 Skillshare course, and then I create a summary video for my VA based on what I learned. And then every 7 days I publish a course, okay? So if we go back to Skillshare, we can see the results of this 30-day Skillshare crash program, okay? I'm going to go over here and go to my teacher stats. And we can see if we scroll down, my first paycheck was $115. Woo! And almost all of that came from premium referrals. You can see that when it comes to people watching my courses, people paid me Skillshare paid me $5.43 for people watching my courses. Whereas when it comes to me referring people to Skillshare, Skillshare paid me $110, which is pretty awesome. And that makes sense, honestly, because I run a YouTube channel, so it makes a lot of sense that I'm going to earn more from referrals in the beginning until I start developing a reputation on Skillshare itself, right? So that was the first month. We can see for this month, I have 13 premium referrals, so I'm actually doing better than my first month already, and 525 premium minutes watched. Each minute gets you 5 pennies. So 525 minutes times 5 pennies equals, I did it too many times, whoops. 525 minutes times 5 pennies equals $26. So for this month, it looks like I'm going to get like $150 something, which is pretty awesome. Honestly, if I can be earning $100 to $200 from Skillshare for the first 6 months, I am happy with that. That is freaking awesome. I'm surprised how quick this is growing. And honestly, that's the main reason I'm so into Skillshare. On Udemy, I've made much more money than I have on Skillshare. Like, even though the dropshipping situation has changed and people aren't as interested in dropshipping anymore, the course is still earning about $500 a month. So yeah, like right now we're at $394 and it's day 22 of 30. So we can calculate a quick average by taking 394, dividing it by 22. That is a daily rate, and then we can multiply that by 30 to get a rough average of, at this current rate, the course will earn $537 in 30 days, right? And the trouble with Udemy is that it's so dependent on your ability to market and bring your own traffic. The only reason this course does well now is because of all the YouTube videos I did in the past that showed Udemy social proof. Then Udemy was happy to push my course. But as a beginner, especially if you don't have a YouTube channel, the chance of you making a Udemy course and it contributing to income is really, really unlikely. And that's why I like Skillshare, because it's so much easier for beginners to get started using Skillshare as instructors versus Udemy. Udemy is like you either make a lot or nothing, whereas Skillshare, like, you can start from nothing and develop a following. It's completely possible because of the way that the community works. I really think that Skillshare has a very unique situation, and the way that they pay their instructors and also the way that they share their information and the payment mechanism for their courses, it's a very good opportunity for anybody anywhere in the world. Whereas things like Udemy are better opportunities for people in the US. Like $15 is a lot in a lot of countries. Like in Nicaragua, where I live right now, you can live off of $500 or $600 a month. Like, you can live a decent life. You could technically live off $200 or $300, but not super comfortably. So $15 that's a lot. That's a whole cell phone bill for most people. Most people pay between like $5 and $20 a month for their cell phone bill, with 20 being really high, right? So $15 is a lot, but on Skillshare you get $15 for every single course on the entire platform, which is way more approachable and way more worth it than on Udemy, where you pay $15 and you get like one course. I like, in the long run, I don't see how any course marketplace can compete with Skillshare for the student's perspective. When it comes to being a student and learning online, Skillshare is absolutely the best marketplace for your buck, essentially. Like, you can learn just as much on YouTube. But with YouTube, there's not as much focus on tutorial kind of videos. There absolutely are tutorial videos and teaching videos, but most content on YouTube is designed to get your attention and distract you, not necessarily to educate you. Whereas almost all the content on Skillshare is designed specifically to educate you. So both YouTube and Skillshare are, I think, the only platforms that are really, truly approachable when it comes to online learning for anybody anywhere in the world. Okay, so now I'll look at some of the chat things. Okay, let's see. QAOQAJI Jamal, I'm going to call you Jamal, said, "Hey, Jack and all, thanks for your efforts. Is there any way to share courses in French?" Yeah, you can make courses in pretty much any language. It's just a matter of getting students of that language interested, right? And typically, when you're talking in a different language, like say you're speaking in German or French, you're going to have an easier time on YouTube because there aren't as many competitors in a language like French or German. So you can make content in a certain language, and it's much more likely that you're one of the few people doing this. Whereas if you're making the content in English, there's so many content creators who speak English. That being said, it's not always true. This is just a general rule of thumb. Like in my case, for example, like if we go to an incognito window and we go to YouTube, I'm doing incognito because this takes away my preferences. So YouTube doesn't have any information at the moment in this incognito window. YouTube can't see who I am, so it's going to show me results based on what I'm searching for, not what I'm searching for compared to what I've listened to and watched in the past, right? So if we search for Nicaragua 2019, I was showing up here. I don't think I am anymore. Here we go. Okay, so I show up like almost at the bottom of the first page, right? And it's pretty surreal to show up in a keyword as vague as Nicaragua and the year, right? But the only reason that that's happening is because I'm doing videos in English speaking about Nicaragua. Most of the videos about Nicaragua are in Spanish, obviously, because Nicaragua is a country that speaks Spanish. So anytime you are using a language that is different than what most other people are doing, that can make it easier for your videos to get noticed on YouTube. And I'm talking to you about YouTube. I know that you asked about Course Marketplace, but YouTube is essentially where you should start if you are interested in making courses online. Because when it comes to online income, separate from like courses, like any online income, whether you're a virtual assistant, whether you're selling products, whether you're actually physically selling things online and you're shipping them like on eBay or something, or if you're drop shipping, all online income follows a law. And that law is that there is traffic and there is a product. When you run a YouTube channel, you are creating digital products, videos that traffic is engaging with. When you run a consulting service, you are providing a product. Your time consulting this person. This is a product. It's a tangible thing, right? It's a thing that is created. Maybe like it seems abstract to you because it's advice. But if you think about it, like you could record the hour consultation call and the person is literally paying for that experience, for that video, right? It's a product. Everything related to online income is traffic and a product, okay? What you want is to be a person who can bring traffic. The gods of the internet are those who can bring traffic. Traffic is what people pay for. Even if you can't bring a lot of traffic, people will pay you to bring your little traffic to them. So you want to be a person who can bring traffic. That is the ideal position to be on online. You could also have your own product. This is good, but it is always trumped by somebody who can bring traffic. So this is why YouTube is such a huge opportunity for people, because YouTube allows you to create an audience, to develop connections with people and then this traffic can be directed elsewhere. YouTube is a catalyst that makes everything else you do online exponentially more effective. So I know that your original question was about like doing French on a course marketplace, but I'm talking about YouTube because I want you to understand that if you run a YouTube channel in the language that you want, that you're talking about the subject that you're talking about, this is going to allow you to do much, much, much better on virtually every teaching platform that exists, because you're going to be able to bring some of your own traffic. And being able to bring your own traffic is super, super, super important. Okay? So now let me look at the chat. Drop says, hey Jack, can you give me a software track stock and price, last update? So honestly, at the moment, the best way is probably with SkuGrid. Personally, I believe that eBay can and does look at the tools that you link to the API and can flag you because of, whoa, the ding! That ding means there's another person here. Oh, hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me? I can see you. Oh, I can hear stuff. Hello.
Hey, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ah, good. I just pumped up to your live, and then I said, you know what? Let's say hi to Jack because I've been watching your videos for quite a long time. So how you doing?
Oh, awesome, man. It means so much
Great.
that you joined the call. So many people are just like, we're not going to show our faces. Yeah.
Freak out. Like maybe Jack, you were gonna ask us a tricky questions, and we wouldn't be able to answer it or something like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, you've been sharing so much content. I mean, I appreciate it because there's not that much YouTubers or gurus or whatever. They're sharing their content and tricks, and it's awesome because I've been watching your videos for really quite a long time, and I was like, well, how Jack did stop doing videos about dropshipping, and I was like, oh man, but really, like, I've been watching a lot of guys down there on YouTube talking about dropshipping and how to and blah 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 blah, but all of them, they're referring to their courses or but you did share so many tricks that nobody shares, and that's amazing. That's what it stands you up.
Yeah, and there absolutely are other people who share information about dropshipping, but it is true that there's a lot out there who they view their free content as a ramp into their paid content and nothing else, right? But it's important to give a lot in your free content. My philosophy is that if you inspire people enough with your free content, then they're gonna hopefully support and encourage you in your paid content. But you should, like, if you keep information to yourself, then you lose access to new information in the future. So by sharing information, you guarantee that you always have all the information you need. And I think that's super important.
Yeah, you're right. I'll tell you my story. How did I end up? I mean, I've got a YouTube channel, and I just started recently because a lot of people asked me to do my YouTube channel. I'm based in Morocco, okay, and I've got tons, like, there are a lot of Moroccan drop shippers. Dropshipping in Morocco, it goes like really like bang. Everybody want to be drop shippers. Everyone want to earn money. And what happened? I was starting a drop shipping. I was 2017, and then I saw a live video with one of the guys who was talking, and the information he was sharing was like, what the hell this guy is sharing? And then I thumbs up and I said, hi, how are you? And then we start to talk, and then the guy started to tell me, you know what, you're supposed to do live videos. I said, okay, let's try it. And one day, you know what I did? I just clicked live in that group, and then I started to do videos, and I thought that I'm going to do 10, 15 meeting videos. And I end up doing 2 hours lives, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, you know, like continuously, like every day. It was awesome. A lot of people got so much information, and I was so happy. I was like, wow. And guess what? I swear that the information that I shared, I got more than 100 times information. Like whatever I shared, I got so much information, and I believe that as much as you give, as much you get. As more information you share, this is a law. This is a universe, a God's law. As more as you give, as much as you get. And then I stopped doing that live videos because I had an agreement with that guy from that stage without mentioning the name. And then he was like, oh, you know, like he saw that so much people talking about me and stuff. And I was like, you know what? No more lives in your page. Thank you very much. To create my own life, well, I think I've got 50 people, and then I share like 4, 5 videos. And then I'm doing a very, very, very special video, which actually YouTube, I'm uploading it now. It takes so long. There are 2, one in Arabic, Moroccan, and one in English about flagged accounts, which is I'm so excited to share this information. So this is my story.
That's cool.
and then, by the way, I want to do, because I wrote it down in my notes yesterday night. Imagine, yesterday I noted in my notes, and I said, Jack meeting, because I want to book a meeting with you so we can, I'm outside, I'm having a coffee with a friend, and having my book, you know, my daily book to read. And then you pump up. I was like, oh, what the hell? You know, yes, I wrote it yesterday. I said, I want to have a meeting with Jack. And then all of a sudden, Jack comes up. So let's join him and say hi.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a law of attraction. What you attract comes to you.
Yeah.
That's
one of the...
So what you up to?
Say it again, sorry?
What you up to? What's your news? What you doing? Well,
so my focus has been pretty much completely on the platform Skillshare, and making courses on Skillshare and consuming content on Skillshare, reaching out to other Skillshare instructors. So that's been like a big focus. And one of the reasons I'm into it is because I'm trying to be more in touch with my international audience. For example, Morocco is a good example of this, because there's tons and tons and tons of people overseas who can benefit from online income. And in a country like Morocco, you are much more likely to be able to change your life with online income than you are in the States. And it's confusing for a lot of people, because they think that they have less opportunity than somebody in the US because they're in a less developed country. But because the cost of living is so much cheaper, a US person, in order to really change their life and become self-employed, they need to earn around like $2,000 a month. Like they need that in order to have everything they need to live, right? Not always. There are some places you could live off of like $1,000 or less, but in general, in most places in the U.S., on average, you would need about $2,000. And at this point, you would be earning $24,000 a year, which, as far as U.S. standards, that's not a whole lot above poverty. It's pretty low. But in foreign countries like Managua, Nicaragua, Thailand, you can earn $600 a month, and that is enough to have a life. And it's crazy, you know, this fact that even though it's a little bit trickier to access money for internationals, they are so much more likely to actually be able to reach that point, because they only need to earn a quarter the amount of money as somebody in the US needs to earn.
Yeah. Well, in Morocco, it's completely different than the US. Promise you. Like, I'll tell you something. In Morocco, you can earn $300, $400, and you've got a easy life. You don't need to stress yourself, because here in Morocco, there are lots of Moroccans these days with their family. You know, like, it's not like US. You know, if he reached 20 or 18, he has to live by himself, rent an apartment and stuff. No, Morocco, it's not. You can be 40 years old and stay with your family. Mm-hmm. So the cost of living is really cheap, very, very cheap. Like, I'm having a coffee for 70 cents dollars. Like in this area, which is pretty nice coffee, American, and this it's sunny. The weather is beautiful, and 70 cents, not even a dollar, coffee. So it's very cheap. You can get sandwiches for $1. The life it's actually it's cheaper here in Morocco. And anybody want to start to earn money from the internet based from Morocco, they've got a really huge potential. Seriously, because as you mentioned earlier, being in the US, you need to have money in order to not to live, to survive. But here in Morocco, if you want to start a business with $100, just $100, you can make it. Like 1,000, which is 1,000 Moroccan dirhams, it's 10 times 9.5. So 1,000 dirhams, which is $100, you can start drop shipping and start with your whatever, like something just to start with, like just to get yourself going and learn, because the most important is to start.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, like third world countries that are more likely to earn more money than the US base. Seriously.
What's up, Green Knight? You made it.
Yeah, so I did. Hey, how's it going?
What's your name again? I can call you Green Knight if you want, but
You can call me Green Knight. That's fine. A lot of people just call me Green.
Green.
But
Hi, Green Knight.
my real name's Steven Allen, but I just usually go by Green because that's usually my gamer tag on most of my games I play online.
Cool.
Don't mind me. Making a coffee, don't mind me.
Oh, it's
Just
so
try
good.
to hurry on before you ended your stream.
Yeah, so well, this will probably be about 2 hours because I changed the time of the live stream. Because before I have another mastermind group that I do every Friday that I participate in with a bunch of other eBay sellers, run by the YouTuber Chris Lynn. He runs the YouTube channel 10K on the Bay, or Daily Refinement, sorry. But before that was an hour after this call started. So now I've made this call later, so it's after that call, so I can just keep chatting. And live streams, typically you need them to be about 2 hours because that's long enough for people to notice they're happening and to join. Usually it takes like 30 to 45 minutes for the people who are going to join to even join. So it's something that's beneficial to do longer. And I'm trying to do more of these live streams. Like I've been putting a lot of thought into doing this twice a week. So like on Friday and then probably also on Tuesday, just because it allows me to connect with my audience. And a YouTube channel without a live streaming component is like a YouTube channel with a hole in it. Like it really helps your growth to be able to connect with your audience.
I'm looking at the screen here and I'm seeing somebody else in the background. I guess taking a
That's me. It's my name is Assad. So hi, from Morocco.
I'm Steven Allen. Nice to meet you, man. Just call me Green.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so Green, a lot of Morocco is one of the overseas countries that has a lot of interest in drop shipping. I'm not sure why exactly, because there's a lot of countries where drop shipping is a good opportunity. But in Morocco in particular, there are a lot of drop shippers, like a huge community of drop shippers.
Trust me, there are a lot. And I'll tell you one reason. There's only one reason. Okay, how can I explain it? All right. So in Morocco, everybody goes to school. That's what they taught us. You go to school, study, get a good job, and graduate, get a job, and stay there, have your house, get married, buy a car, and then you'll find, like if you get $1,000, $1,200, you're perfect. You don't need anything else. But this generation, they are more enthusiastic to change the way that it is happening in Morocco. They don't want to go for the old school way. So they want to earn money. So how to earn money the easy way? You don't need to go to find a job because it's really hard to get a job in Morocco. Especially you need a degree, you need diplomat, whatever, you need experience and CV and stuff. But they find the easy way that we sit at home. We've got internet. Everybody, I think 90% of guys like have computers. What do? They just go on the internet and search how to earn money, and the first thing that comes up is drop shipping. So they start to earn money from that drop shipping, and that's the easy way, like it's not something different than other countries, but Morocco is the way how it is. And I met tons of them. There are tons of them, like a lot. Trust
Yeah.
me, if you go to Google and type dropshipping, and then you know that Morocco is the number one, you know, like goes boom, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, I understand though. You know, you go to school even here in America, 'cause that's where I'm from. I'm actually from Illinois, and even in our school, that's what they tell you. You know, study hard, go to school, go to college. You know, get a degree. That's if you want to make any kind of money, survive in this economy. And they don't tell you anything about, you know, how do you do your own business? How do you make it on yourself? And like they get mental conditioning to where they think that you need somebody else to pay you a wage. And that's really not the case, because the truth is, those people are making their own business, because if they didn't, you wouldn't have a job. So if they can do it, why can't you do it? And I got into drop shipping. I actually, I don't know if you've seen the channel, not to advertise too much, but Success with Sully's channel actually got me into drop shipping. And then I stumbled onto Jack Pitman's Udemy course as I was looking for more information about doing it. And that actually kind of opened up a whole new world to me. Like, hey, maybe I can actually run my own business. Maybe I don't have to, you know, go back to college and earn, you know, spend thousands of dollars and be in debt for like the next 5 years of my life just to make some money on the side. So yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's a great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's
I believe.
something that's amazing about online income is like for me it was the same as what you guys were talking about in the beginning. Like drop shipping was the thing that kind of originally enabled me to actually earn money online for the first time, really. Because prior to doing that, I was physically reselling stuff. So I was selling on eBay, but I was going out, buying things. I was spending a lot of time like cleaning the items, testing them, shipping them, doing all this. So dropshipping was the first thing in my life that I actually started to be able to, the entire work process that earned you money from a computer, right? And in the beginning, I thought that was the thing, that was the answer. But now that I've met like 100 different people who earn money different ways. And dropshipping is just one of them. And there are basically infinite ways to earn money online. And we live in such a crazy time because all that needs to happen for you to become a person who earns money online is you just have to change the way that you think. You have to change your thoughts to perceive online income as a real thing, just like you view a dentist as a real thing, or a plumber, or an electrician, or a doctor, or, you know, a physical, like a fruit seller. These people all exist. They earn money doing this. You can't say that it's impossible. You can't say that it's a scam. You know, that they exist. They are there. Yet when it comes to online learning or online earning, most of the world feels like a lot of doubt and hesitation and uncertainty. And that is the reason that it's an opportunity, because most people think it's not. So all that you have to do to be able to become self-employed is change the way that you think. Once that change happens, you will become self-employed online within a couple years, as long as you are actively trying new things. And the more you learn, the more you see there are other ways to earn money online, and there are often easier ways than what you've been doing. Like when it comes to course creation, I don't know if there's anything that I've seen that's as lucrative as creating a course, because you can spend like 20 to 100 hours in a month creating one thing, and then that one thing can earn you money for years. Like it's insane, like absolutely insane.
I mean, I like it. The idea of doing a course, it's cool. And then a lot of people ask me, why don't you do a course? Like, because I've shared tons of information, and people are asking me, why don't you do a course? And I said, well, it's not just jumping through a course just like that. You need to have people. You know, they need to. They have to know who you are, if it's worth it to pay that amount that whatever the amount is. It might be just $10 or $20, and might be like there are people that are charging $700-800 for a course of drop shipping, and I think that's insane. Insane. It's my opinion. I don't know, but you need to build an audience. I mean, you build an audience, and people trust you. They know who you are. So not anybody can just jump and say, oh, you know what? Let's create a course and just give them information. Bam, 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 bam. I don't know, but it might be nice that to start. People, they get to know you. They know who you are. If you're trusted, if the information that you give them, that's a good content that you share with them, and here we go. That's the second step to start the course. But people, they need to know the person who's doing the course. Like not anybody. I mean, I'm sure that Tony Robbins or whatever you name it, anybody successful, you did not just wake up in the morning and start to do the course. They struggle, then they fight for what they want to achieve, and all of a sudden people, they get to know them, and then you know what's the message, because it's all about the message. A lot of people, them sticking between the message and earning. If you follow earning, you get stuck. You will be crazy focusing on that goal. But you have to have a message. And for us, I mean, I might say for us, because I started doing a YouTube channel, but for us, it's a message. We want to share a message. We want to help people. We want to support them. So when you have a message, then you can drive people. Then you can have people coming to you and ask for the course, or without asking the course, like they know where to find it, and they go to click, oh, I want to see Jack's course, and download it and see it. So it's true. You have to have a message.
It's definitely not like easy to earn money from courses. But what I'm trying to get at is it is an opportunity that anybody in the world can do. Like every human on this planet has something that they enjoy doing or they are passionate about. Maybe they don't feel like that, but it's true. You can't be alive without having things that you dislike and things that you enjoy. So every person on this planet with an internet connection and a computer can put themselves in a position in the future where they can earn good money from courses. If they focus too much on the income and the courses, yeah, they'll get lost. It's not going to work. But everybody could do exactly what I did, which is just make a YouTube channel, make content for people, make courses. Everybody can do that. It's just not, it's a more long-term game. And that actually brings up a point I would like to talk about, which is earning money now versus earning money in a year. This is a conversation I had with somebody yesterday. If you are a person who wants to earn money online, most likely you are looking at earning money now. Most people need to earn money now to pay rent, to get whatever it is that they want, a car, whatever, to get food. If you are trying to earn money now on the internet, you are competing with millions and millions of other people. So earning money now isn't effective. What you have to focus on are the tasks that earn you money in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years. Because these tasks are way, way, way less competitive. If you can get yourself out of the headspace where you have to earn money now and into the headspace of, I will figure it out, I will be okay, but in 2 years, this will put me in a situation where I can earn money. You go from having millions and millions of competitors to having hundreds of thousands of competitors. You drastically cut the amount of competition that you're dealing with because most people do not have the patience to do this. And this is what I think the key to online income is, because like in my case, I am not a very diligent worker. Like it's true that I regularly put out YouTube content, but one of the common critiques against me is that I don't really work much at all. I only work like an hour or two a day. That has worked because I work on tasks that make my future better. So they don't necessarily earn me money now, but they put me in a situation where I can earn money in the future. And that is a really important distinguishment to make if you are a person who's trying to earn money online, but you feel like you're struggling. I really encourage you to look at what you're focusing on. Because if you're focusing on income now, it's super hard to make that happen. Super, super hard. You can get yourself to a position where you have income now if you spend a year or two setting your life up to be in a position where you can earn money online. That is much more obtainable. Your chance of success at following through with a 1 to 2 year plan to earn online income is exponentially more likely than if you are just focused on doing something today that's going to earn you money tomorrow. Because the reality is it's not going to work.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
I've seen that too. I mean, I just started my eBay store this month, actually. To tell you the truth, my journey is actually, and that was something I did after doing research for like the past couple months. I decided this month I was going to dive in. And what you said is true. It just doesn't kind of, snap right in. You don't just start making immediate sales. You kind of got to work at it. And yeah, the sales have been coming in. They've been slow, but I've actually kind of been focusing more on reviews, and it's really helped me to kind of build my store up kind of from the ground up. And I'm kind of seeing now that, now I'm getting good customer service going and making more sales that in the long term, I can use that as a solid foundation to keep my store in business as I add more items, take away items. And as a result, I've even seen eBay push some of my items actually naturally up to the top of the list without having to do any like campaigns or anything. It's really kind of cool. So what you're saying is 100% true. I agree. It's a lot of work, and you just kind of got to work at it and not get discouraged. Because I know sometimes you're just like, man, I barely made it. I barely made anything today. I didn't set my margins right, or I didn't account for a tax in that state here, and I just maybe like lost $1 or so. And it's just going back and being like, no, it's just a learning experience. That's just like, that really wasn't a loss. That was a dollar learning experience. That was a cheap education course, and just use that as a foundation for growing your business and growing your walk personally with what you're doing. I know I get a little tongue tied here. Not that great on camera, but yeah, I think that's awesome advice. And you're right. What you got to do sometimes is you just got to dive in. How do you get into a cold pool, right? How do you get into a cold pool? The best way to get into a cold pool is just to dive in. And, that's when you can start really learning, getting your feet wet, and you're going to make mistakes. They're going to happen. I've made a lot even this month, but they weren't just mistakes. They were learning experiences. And if you look at it in that positive aspect and you keep that positive mental attitude with what you're doing, the only way you're going to go is up. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to grow, and you're going to keep learning, and you're going to keep saying, okay, well, I did this way a month ago. It didn't work out. So I'm going to do this instead. And before you know it, who knows? The sky's the limit. So you're totally right, Jack. I agree with you 100%. You just got to keep moving forward. Just got to keep having that right mental attitude. And I know a lot of people get discouraged. I have, but my advice would just be like, just keep pushing forward. If you don't risk anything, you're not going to gain anything. And that's true with everything in life. You just got to put your foot forward and just keep moving forward. So one step forward, right?
Yeah.
Every day.
It's important also if you're worried, like if you're listening to this and you're worried about risk, okay, there's a common, I believe it's a misconception that, oh, he just disconnected. I think it's a misconception that entrepreneurial people are more willing to take risks than non-entrepreneurial people, because in my experience, all people are taking risks. Entrepreneurial people are just more calculated in the risks that they take. They are more willing to take a risk that other people may perceive as risky. But the reality is, for a person such as myself, for me to keep working a job that I hate, that is the biggest risk I could ever take in my entire life. I view that as ludicrously dumb to put your whole existence and your livelihood on somebody else, because they don't necessarily care about you. They're not necessarily going to take care of you. They don't necessarily even know who you are in a lot of the situations, right? It's just a decision, and you're one of the people who loses the job because of that, even if you're doing perfectly. Like, that happens to people, right? So for me, saying that we need to be more comfortable taking risks, I don't think is completely accurate, because it's more like we need to be aware of the risks that we are already taking. Because, for example, most people in the world every day step into a vehicle. They are literally doing something that is likely to kill them, more likely than a lot of other things. So it's funny that you have this perception online that employed people don't take risks, when every day they are risking their lives to get to work. Because that's a very real risk. And so for me, I get a little bit frustrated when people are like, oh, when you're self-employed, you got to be able to take risks, that kind of thing. Because all people take risks. Self-employed people don't take more risks. We are just more aware of the risks that we are already taking, right? Just because everybody else in society does something doesn't mean that it's not going to kill you. You know, it's still a risk.
Right. Yeah. Like the risk I was kind of talking about is like people think, okay, if I go to this job, right, that employer is going to pay me a wage. I'm going to get, set amount of money. But if I just go and do an online store and I don't, try to get a regular job, I might not be successful. I might not do this. I might lose money. I guess it's more of like a financial risk. A lot of people are kind of scared because sometimes, you got to put a little money out there. Maybe you got to pay some money forward to buy an eBay store to get your name out there or whatnot. And they're like, well, I could just lose that money. So they think in that negative mindset that, I might get hurt or something. And what I guess like that's what I've come into contact with a lot of people in the past, because they don't want to risk the reputation or something might go wrong, something might happen. And they just get into that kind of fear mentality, I guess you could say. And I guess what I'm saying is like, don't let fear hinder your dreams. I guess that's the best way to put it. Don't let fear hinder your dreams. Make smart decisions, make the calculated risks. Don't, obviously if you don't have, $500 to burn, like you have to go buy food. You can't just be like, well, I'm just going to go sign up for this program. It's going to cost, $500 and get all these products and, they're going to sell. I know they are. And then, you get your dream smashed because nothing works. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen like that. It's a process. And it's kind of like, you don't want to gamble away what you have. You still have to feed yourself every day. You still have to put a roof over your head. But at the same time, you can't just be like, well, I'm just going to live under somebody else's, paycheck every day and just expect that to be your end all. You have to step out there. You have to take courage and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna sacrifice my, but I'm still gonna save up some money, do this, and at least give it a shot to see where it goes. So.
Yeah, well, the idea, it's a mindset that it's that's the way how people look at things. Every single human on Earth, in the past and the future, they are at risk. Every single human, and I repeat it, every single human on Earth, in the past or in the future, they are at risk. They are at risk in accident. They are at risk. Even the people that they're CEOs and whatever, the PDGs and stuff, they are at risk. They might lose their job. They might die. They might get sick. They might, there are a lot of risk. But what differentiates those people who get in a 9-to-5 job is between them and between entrepreneurs or whatever, like self-employed people. They have their freedom. They do things as per their rules. Nobody comes to them and said, why didn't you do that? Why do you do that? Why do you come at 9:30 instead of 9? That stress and there is no gap. There is no gap how much you're gonna earn from 0 to an infinite amount of money. and that's still taking risk. So both of them are on risk, but one of them he can reach an infinite as per his actions and behavior for his business. But the other one, he will never get increase 50% of his salary, even though if he stays like 16 years on his company. So that's what it makes it different between self-employed and entrepreneurs and people who work a 9-to-5 job. So it's a mindset, and trust me, this is the way how Earth and human being created. Nobody can take risk. Not everybody, not everybody want to be dropshippers. It's cannot, because someone who's gonna, you know what, working in the internet, no, it scammed them. I scam me. They're definitely having that negative thoughts in their brain. So what you feed your brain with, if it's negative, you will stay with negative thoughts, and you will be scared, you will be freaked out, and you will never start. But the people who are not afraid of life, they are, go ahead, action, let's do it. What else can I lose? If I lose $1, as you said earlier, mentioned earlier, if you lose $1 or $10, you didn't lose it. You earn something. You got experience. You invested on something that you made a mistake, and then you learned something. So that's an investment, and that's why a lot of people are making courses. It's not the courses that I come and make courses because I just feel like doing a course. No, people making courses because they've been through a process of learning. They lost tons of money and time in order to gather those information and put them in a course to teach you. Like, if the course costs $1,000, that guy, he spent tons of time in order to get those information and give it to you. I'm not saying everybody who gives a course, it's worth that amount. But what I'm saying in general, whoever give a course or mindset group, whatever you can name it, they learn, and then they give you that experience. It's all about experience. And I encourage anybody who want to start, regardless what he wants to start. Because I've got an example. I've got a brother. He's 29 years old. And this guy, he's a genius. He's a smart ass. Seriously. He knows how to draw. Like, he can draw you perfectly. Like, perfect. That's one. He doesn't use it. He has amazing... he does that Fruity Loops thing, and then he creates his songs, and that's amazing. When I heard it, I said, "Wow, that song, Beyonce or Jay-Z needs to play his songs on it. It's amazing." That's 2. 3, he knows how to do gaming. He's a gamer. Dude, go and do it in YouTube. Just do it in YouTube. And then he's just backing off. I promise, I told him, if you do one channel, you share your joy, you do your music, and you do your gaming, you will be a billionaire in 2-3 years from now, because he's amazing. And again, you cannot change people's mentality, mindset. You just cannot. And I just give up. And I said, you know what? That's up to you. You do what you want to do. I am not going to judge you. What I can tell you is, actually, this is good and this is not. I direct you. So this is how it is.
This touches on a subject. As somebody who is self-employed, most of the time I interact with people who have more regular jobs. In most of the people in my personal life, who I actually interact with, my lifestyle is very different than pretty much everybody I know. And one of the frustrating things for me as an individual is what I've learned about humans when it comes to online income. Because I used to believe that you had to be really smart, unusually smart, or you had to be super talented, to be able to earn money online. But the reality is that it's not true. You literally just have to believe that it's possible, completely understand and believe that. And as long as that is the case, you will figure out a way to do it and to accomplish it. And for me, this is frustrating because it shows me that in my own life and in almost every other human that I know, we blame other circumstance. We blame our circumstance. We blame our parents. We blame our health. We blame other things. But the reality is, any one of us could literally just step outside of all of our problems and into a completely different lifestyle where we have problems, but they're different, right? Like in my case, in my past, I struggled with having enough energy to be a loving person to my friends and my family. Whereas now, I can almost always be at my best. Almost always. Whenever I'm sick, I can rest. Whenever I'm feeling like I need to take a break from something, I can just take a break and do it. So I don't have the problems that I had in my past simply because of online income. And it can be very tricky to try and convince other people to earn money online for this reason, because we can see in other people's lives that it's actually quite easy. They already have all of the skills and talents that they need. They literally don't need to develop anything new. They just need to be creating online content, and that's it. That the one tiny little change in their life within a year or two could exponentially change everything. And this is true for most people, yet most people don't do this. And it's not because the opportunity isn't real, it's because they don't believe that it's possible. And this is something that's changing with our generations. Like, I saw a statistic recently that in the US, of people in the millennial generation, so this is like people who are under the age of 30, essentially, but over like 15, something like that, like 40% of them are involved with some kind of freelance work. Okay? And that was crazy to me, because I always thought of freelancing and online income as something that some people do, but not that many. For example, like, I tried talking to my uncle about what I was doing with my life, and I was about to get excited, and then he revealed to me that he doesn't know what YouTube is. And he was like worried that I was making the same mistakes as my father because I was traveling and not getting a job, not worrying about my future in his eyes. And I was completely lost, because how do I explain my life to somebody who doesn't know what YouTube is? Like, I could just say, oh yeah, I make videos, but to a person who doesn't understand the influence of YouTube and the power behind it, how could I explain that making YouTube videos changes your life to this person? And it absolutely is a generational difference. Like, older generations, they had to get certified in order to have stability in their life. That was true for them. They had to get a degree in order to be able to have a job. But now, with the internet, everything has changed. And our parents, essentially, have raised us to exist in the world as it used to be, not the world as it is now. So if you can understand this and really understand that all it takes to earn money online is to believe that you can and to continuously try. As long as you follow those rules, then you can drastically change your life. And this isn't going to be true in like 2 or 3 generations, because it'll be way more competitive. More people will understand the opportunity. Whereas right now, very few people proportionally understand the opportunity, but this really is changing. A lot of young people are becoming much more interested in online income and self-education versus accreditation through a university.
Yeah.
I've got an what you mentioned. You've touched really amazing point. Actually, it's not only a millennium who has this thing, because it's not only working on the internet that can make you money. There is a very inspiring story. One of the richest men in Morocco. All Moroccans, they know him, especially the people in the state called Marrakesh. He calls Shabi. This guy, he's an example, an amazing example. This guy, he used to have a trolley. He used to sell eggs, sandwiches for people who building, on construction sites. And he give them those sandwiches. And that guy, with the time, his brain He changed the way how he looks at things. He's an entrepreneur or a businessman on his brain. So what he does, he improved the way that he, you know, that small, I don't know how they call it, like small cars, you know, I don't know. I cannot give you an example. Anyway, he push it like a trolley. He can push it on the way,
cart.
on the street, and then he sells sandwiches to people. And then he improves the way that he look at things. And I said, you know what? Instead of selling the sandwiches, let's sell something else different. And he start to improve his business. And then he start to sell eggs, and he start to. Honestly, after 20 years, he's the richest man. And he has tons of hotels, businesses, like all the.
Oh,
I think we lost.
yeah, we lost you. So for those of you listening, he was explaining how even separate from online income, you can develop an entrepreneurial kind of mindset where the individual that this guy's talking about started really small, right? And the same thing happens in Nicaragua, where you have like people who go in the streets and they have a bell and they are just selling ice cream, this kind of thing. And you would think, oh, you know, that's a boring way to live, yada yada. But if you have the right mindset and you continuously improve, you can turn that ice cream cart into being a real estate tycoon 20, 30 years later. Just because you start one way doesn't mean that that's what you're doomed to do forever. And as long as you are in a situation where you can respond to problems in front of you with your own solutions, that is key. Because a lot of jobs, you become detached. You become forced to just listen to problems but not be able to do anything about these problems. And this is super dangerous mindset to be in. You have to be in a position where you can present solutions to the problems around you. Because once your brain is used to this, after a couple years, you cannot see a problem without thinking of a solution. Whereas if your brain is not used to this mentality, whenever you see problem, you think, oh, something new to complain about. Another reason that life sucks. These kind of thoughts. It's completely different mentality. Sorry, I just kind of started talking because we lost your signal.
Sorry, you know, that's one of the frustrating thing in Morocco. It's internet connection. I didn't want to mention that earlier, but that is the most frustrating thing in Morocco is internet. Seriously, like I'm sure that if we have Moroccans watching the video, they will tell you how frustrating it is. But as you mentioned, it's not about looking at a problem. Because if you've got a problem mentality, looking at problems, always you're going to look at problems. But when you look at how can I solve it? Because most of the richest people or people who are wealthy, they come with solutions. Like Thomas Edison, like you know, Jack Bezos, and all, you know the list is too long. All of them, they have a mentality of solution. They come up, they find a problem, and they look at it like, okay, hold on, wait. So we've got a problem. So how can we solve it? So they sit down and they think and they look and they find a way. So as soon as they find a way, they become wealthy because they sell a service. That's somebody that makes their life easier. So anybody want to become wealthy, he need to look at a positive way, a way of looking at solutions, not problems. You know, as we all know that the eBay change has been going on since the last year, and everybody's freaking out. Everybody's freaking out, like everybody. But the ones that stand up and stand out, and they're still earning money, and they're still there on the top. The one that look at when they see the problem, say, here we go. That's opportunity. How can I solve it? So I solve it. I'll be there. I'll be the first. I'll be the one who's excluded from the list. So they become the top.
Yeah, that focus on solutions is super, super important. And it absolutely is true that of most like successful people in the world, the ones who are really famous, they didn't just get that way. They focused on a solution for a problem.
Right. I was gonna say something too. I was thinking about what you guys were saying until he gets back. I actually still work a 9 to 5 job, and so one of the things that I encounter like at my job is I kind of have that entrepreneurial mindset. I always see problems even at my job, and I'm like, how can we fix them? I don't think of it as like, oh my gosh, this sucks, but it's just like, no, there has to be a way out somehow, and I always think about ways to fix it. The problem with being an employee working under somebody else's thumb, so to speak, okay, is that you might have an idea and you think it's great.
Sorry.
Hey, say these problems, and then your employer could be like, no, that really doesn't work, and we're not even going to try. So at least by being self-employed, you kind of you have the ability to change things and not have somebody else under your thumb. Welcome back, by the way. Sorry.
So sorry. As I told you, the most frustrating thing is internet. But I'm smiling because there's nothing you can do about it. It's this is how it is. So I really love. I really laugh out loud because that is the way that I learned. When I face a problem or issue, I smile. I laugh because as soon as I freak out and stress, my brain will stop working. Yeah. So I just smile and walk away. And life is beautiful. So I'm sorry. So what I was mentioning is, imagine the cell phone has no connection or internet. This is the way same as our brain. For instance, if I say I want to start a business or I want to start dropshipping, but imagine B-U-T, but I don't have money. I need to have money. So what we did is we're creating a block, a wall 5 meters wider and 5 meters higher. So we will never skip that wall. What happened? We switched information by reusing that word but. We don't have money, but I don't have internet, but I am working 9 to 5, but I have to pay my bills, but there is so many things. But the thing, if we switch on the Wi-Fi thing, we've got that button that we switch off the Wi-Fi. As soon as we switch on the Wi-Fi, we've got tons of Wi-Fi pumps up. So what we have to do is to click the Wi-Fi that we want to use, and here we go. We use the Wi-Fi. So that's the same thing. We said, I want to start a drop shipping. So what do I need? What can I do about it? How can I do it? So imagine your brain, you give a signal to your brain to think. And as soon as you start to do that, your brain starts to bring ideas. Okay, I need to know how to do it. Okay, let's Google it. How can I do it? So there is two things, two types of people. One person who switched off the Wi-Fi and used the BUT word and said, well, I cannot do it, or I am too old to do it, or I'm too young to do it, or I'm too busy to do it. And there is another mindset which is turn on the Wi-Fi and said, how can I do it? And then definitely define the way and start action and do it.
Yeah, mindset is everything. I completely agree. Can you share more, Green? Can you share more about what you were talking about with your job?
Yeah. So I work in a factory. Okay, I make. Oddly enough, my job isn't a terrible job. Okay, so yeah, I work at a candy factory. I make candy for a living. I work for Hershey's. So it's not a bad job, but there are things like certain machines, for instance, that might need updating and stuff. And I could see that problem and be like, hey, you guys, you need to fix this over here, right? Well, that's all well and good, and that would make everything run so much smoother. But the problem with that is sometimes the company's like, nah, we'd just rather pay somebody to come and do that job versus fix this problem over here, or just get our maintenance team to fix it or something, when, we could just be saving some money and replacing it. But, it's their business, so it's their call. And I respect that, but it's just like, if you have your own business and you see that problem, you don't have to wait for somebody else to make that call. You can just go in and fix that problem right there. And I think that's the great thing about being an entrepreneur, is you don't have to worry about, you you coming up with great ideas and somebody's shooting you down. You know, you can implement those great ideas on the fly and improve your life so much better and make it better. And I think that's a lot of the frustration a lot of people get into at work regular jobs is that, you know, they find problems in their job and they get excited about, hey, I got a solution for this, you know, and then they go and they tell their boss, and then their boss is like, no, we don't want to do that. So, you know, it just kind of creates that that negative cycle. Well, I thought of this problem in the past and I presented it to them and they shot me down. So if I see a problem in the future,
what's the point?
what's the point of even looking for problems anymore? Because every time I see a problem, they're just going to shoot me in the foot and say it doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by being an entrepreneur, you can kind of get out of that negative mindset that it's kind of like, how do I put this? When you're around people that kind of have that negative mentality, you kind of start developing in yourself. So by being an entrepreneur, you free up your time. You don't have to go to this job, right? With around those people that have that more of a negative mindset. You can surround yourself with people that have a positive mindset. So when they see problems, they don't just, you know, sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
They work together to fix the problem. You know, they actually do what needs to be done. And I guess that's kind of where I'm working out. Like, you know, I just started my online business. So obviously I'm not going to just quit my job. One of the best advices I've ever heard is that in order to, you know, if you have a job, I would say to anybody, stay at your job, right? And try this eBay or Amazon or whatever online business, YouTube, work at it. When your online business makes at least, if not double, and a lot of people say double your income that you're currently making and it's consistent, then quit your job. But don't just rush out and quit your job, quit your stability until you know this is something that's going to be stable and it's going to, you know, at least make you more enough than what you're making right now, then more down the road, so you can see it's something to stay there. So, but yeah, that's just one of the problems I have working at a regular job. And like I said, my job, I mean, they treat us pretty good there, so it's a good company to work for. It's just sometimes it's that frustrating things of like finding those problems and then kind of, you know what I mean, getting shut down. And I'm sure I've seen some of your previous videos. You've worked for other people, so I know you've ran into it. I'm sure everybody who's had a regular job or even a part-time job has run into those problems before. So definitely.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons I left. I've had one salary job in my life, and it was a really interesting situation because it was for a closet company and it was a local business. So it was me and like 5 other people, and that was the whole company. And what was cool about it is that any time I got good at something, more stuff was added to my plate. So I was able to be like, okay, I want to do this and this and this, and I just kept improving and kept getting to be involved with more parts of the business, right? But what was super frustrating for me is that the owner was very disrespectful to some of his hardest working employees. I stood up for myself, so he wasn't like that to me, but there were other employees, one in particular, who was the single hardest worker in the entire company. And the owner would just shit on this guy. He would take advantage of him, take advantage of the fact that he wouldn't really do much to defend himself because the boss was talking to him. And he knew that he was super dependent on the job and he wasn't going to quit. And he just didn't treat this person well. He wasn't respectful to this person. And also, the owner would make a lot of comments that led to bad morale in the other employees. And so for me, this was super frustrating because I could see how the owner's decisions were hurting his business on a regular, daily, recurring basis. But I could do nothing about it because every time I tried to talk to him, he'd be like, no, that's just normal. That's how it is. That's fine. They just hate me. They're just bad workers. Like, it was super frustrating. So I know exactly what you're saying because that is a reality of business, really.
Right.
Look, in my experience, I used to be a brand manager. I used to earn $40,000 a month. No, sorry, $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month, which is not bad. It's great to earn $4,000 a month. And I used to manage more than, say, 1,000 people. And I loved my job. It was amazing, connecting with people and developing the business and stuff. And there is no business. I've been with six companies, and I've been growing continuously. Like every 1-2 years, I grow. And there is no company that you will find a perfect team. Like everything is beautiful, everything is running smoothly, that they're working as a team. No, it doesn't exist. Either you find a suck team or you find a suck boss. This is one of the two, or both, or both. So it was really, really hard. And what I took from my experience is I like to treat staff as I want to be treated. I listen to them because I learned that so many things as a manager, as a senior manager, I don't know everything. So staff there in the shop floor working on the whole day, they know more things than I know, even though I am expert on that field. But when you listen to them, you get so much information. So that's the power of listening. You listen to them, and then you develop, really, like you develop. And there is so many. Sorry, it's so noisy outside. So there is so many companies, as you both mentioned earlier. There is someone in the company that he works his ass off, like he's the top one. And then if we don't treat those people properly and we listen to them, our company is soft. If we listen to them and we know this idea, we might implement it and it might get us more revenue. Then we suck. So that's why I really love to treat people the way that I want to be treated, and see potential on them, and be hard when I want to be hard, and be soft when I need to be. And I promise you now, when I walk on the street, so many times here in Morocco or outside the country, when I meet people that they worked with me, they hugged me, and it's very inspiring. Sometimes my tears comes out that they thank me because I was so hard and soft on the same time, and they learned so much. And they've become managers as well, assistant managers, stores managers. And I said, well, this is what I've learned. One of my managers, she was so hard, and I had to cry the whole day because she was hard to me. And I learned. I become who I want to be, and I become a very successful brand manager. So this is what I want you to be as well. So that's the problem, the mentality of management, and not everybody like gets a degree as a manager and he's just gonna come with his long stick and start to hit people. No, this is not the way how it is. Management is, you have to be the same as everybody. Everybody is equal. One thing it changed is respect and salary. That's two things only, but the rest is the same thing. We do the same thing. I clean up with them, I wash the floor, I clean up that, I do everything with them. So that's what calls teams. So not all the companies are. And with that salary, I said, you know what? I don't want to be in that shitty job, I just want to work by myself, sleep when I want, wake up when I want, and do what I want. And this is the beauty of it. Getting to know people like you, Self. I'm meeting you. If I'm where I am, like my previous job, I would never meet you. I would never meet a lot of people that I learned a lot of things from them. I'm sitting at the coffee now. I'm reading my book. Later, I go to my office. I've got my office at home and work and do what I have to do. And 3, nobody will come. Hello, where is the package, or whatever the shipments? Because I used to work with shipments as well on retail, and free, like so beautiful. It's amazing to just be, like breathe the air and enjoy life. That's the beauty,
Yeah, absolutely. That's something. My father died when I was 12, and I think that this is probably one of the luckiest things that has happened in my life, because it has shown me that you don't have much time at all. You could die tomorrow. You have to spend your time very carefully. And if you focus too much on money, there are so many people in this world who have all the money in the world, but they still are incredibly depressed, suicidal even. That's common. And you have to have freedom. Freedom and the time to spend with other people, to spend with yourself, to relax. These are the important things in life, the things that actually matter.
Yeah, you're right. It's not all just about money. There's a lot more important things in life too. I mean, mine's my faith. I have a strong connection with my God and my faith and stuff, and that's always what I go back to when I'm feeling blue and stuff, and that's always given me hope. And one of the good things about, I think, entrepreneurship is that you do have that free time to pursue, your faith and whatever you believe in, and to get that peace. And so I agree that is one of the benefits, not just the money of being an entrepreneur, but also the ability to have the free time to just dedicate it to stuff that matters. One of the wisest things I heard said that I think about money was what's more important, your life or money? And if your life is more important than money, why do you spend all your life working for money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, your life is obviously more important, so free it up. And I think that came from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the author. And that was a book I read when I was growing up, and I was actually still in high school, I think. I had a friend who lived about an hour away from me, and he started reading these books and gotten into business with real estate with one of his friends. And he's like, "Hey man, check out this book." And at that time, I didn't know too much about money. I didn't know I like to save money, because I like to see it grow, but I didn't know too much about anything about business. So I read that book, and it really changed my perspective. And I went on to read his cash flow.
Which book is that? Sorry, which book?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And then I read his following book, Cash Flow Quadrant. And that one actually talks about, the different types of ownership in a business. Like you have your entrepreneur, the person who starts the business, and then you have this one side where you pretty much have your business in it. And then you have this other side where you get like stuff like Jack's probably talked about in the past, or other dropshippers have talked about EAs, right? Where you hire people to do the job for you so that you can free up your time to pursue other entrepreneurial ventures. And that's actually where you want to be. You don't want to be the person that thinks you have to control everything. You want to be able to, like you said, raise people up to be able to do this, help you do this. And then that will free up your time to do more stuff, to learn about other aspects. And not only that, but by teaching these people these things, like you were saying, they're going to thank you for it. Yeah, sometimes you might come across a little harsh. It's always good to try and, I always think talking to them, personally out of love, because you want to help them. That's your goal. Your goal is not to like make them feel bad about themselves. Your goal is to you want to see them better themselves. That's really your heart. And when people get that about you and they take what you say and they run with it, and you can see that growth in their own personal lives, I think that's better than money. I think, being able to encourage people, and like Jack said, the people that are depressed and the people that suffer from anxiety, like reaching out to those people and giving them hope, like that. I've seen people that I've seen on the side of the street that I've walked up to and talked to that look like they're just about ready to end their lives, and talk to them and give them hope that they never thought was possible. And just to see the joy on their face, and then talk to them years later down the road and see the change that they have made in their life. And they're totally a different person than this, old depressed person they used to be. And you know what, that feeling, it almost brings me to tears. Dude, that's more to me than money will ever be. That's more to me than any money in the whole world would ever amount to, because you know what, life is more precious than money will ever touch. But at the same time, unfortunately, we live in a materialistic world. We need money to survive. We need money to pay, for our house, our food and stuff. But the good thing about being entrepreneurial is that it can free up your time to reach to, you know, you don't have to go to this 9-to-5 job anymore. You can search out those people that are hurting. You know, you don't have to worry about that. You know, yeah, you still have to balance your business time and still grow it, but you're not having to dedicate yourself to 8 hours every day just to go work for somebody else who's going to make money off the top of you. You're making your own money your own way, and then you're using your free time to do what's really important to you, like for me, helping other people. And so that's one really cool thing that's really inspired me about entrepreneurialism, is that, you know, I don't just have to, you know, I don't have to depend on my employer my whole life to survive. You know, I can go do this. I can make money on my own, and I can get to a point where I'm, you know, sustainable, and then do what I'm really passionate about. And that's really kind of my end goal right there, laying it out for you guys. But I think that's really cool. Just like, I really think it's cool how, you know, Jack, you make these videos and you're just very humble about it. You know, you put everything out there. And like you said, you got into drop shipping because you didn't really, on the end, care as much about drop shipping as being a YouTube personality and helping people. You know, I see all your videos about, like, you know, getting rid of stress and stuff. And I thought that was really cool what I saw in your Udemy courses about how, you know, you might get stressed out, but just relax and it's going to be okay. And, you know, you didn't just touch on the financial aspects. You taught on the emotional aspects that, you know, go along with it, because there is an emotional aspect. You know, you do get scared, you do get frustrated, you do get upset, you know, but it's like,
feels like the world's ending.
Right. But what do you do? What do you do with those emotions? How do you process them? And how do you turn those around for the better? And I think that should be the end goal. For at least for me personally, it is. And I just want to say thanks, because that was some awesome videos I watched, and probably just going on mumbling right now. I have a tendency to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I see, you know, those people who have anxiety or depression, or those people, they don't see the bright side of life. There was a conversation I've seen yesterday, because I watched so much videos on personal development, and that changed my life actually. And I was there was two guys having a meeting, conversation, and the guy, he asked him a question. He asked him why God creates insects and snakes and cockroaches and stuff. And the guy just looked at him and they laughed. They said, well, if you ask this question, why don't you ask why God created the sun, that vitamin D? Why God created moon? Why God created fruits? Why God created? So why didn't you see the beautiful things, the amazing things that God created? You look at the other side, which is cockroaches and snakes and mosquitoes, and those ones that God create has an impact in life, has something to do. They do something in order for the circle of humanity or the entire life. So you should look at the bright side of it. And then another picture I saw, there was a bus driving on the mountain, and there is two guys, one sitting on the left and one sitting on the right. You might pass by in the internet, on Facebook. And the guy on next to the mountain on the left side, he was looking at the mountain and just a wall, like a black wall. He was depressed because the view was not nice. But the other side, he was looking at the other side, at the hook of the mountain, and he looked at beautiful, how green it is. They are in the same position, but each one of them, he looked at the life the way how he wanted to be. The other guy, he could have just jumped on the other side and look at the life on the bright side, but he didn't. He decided to complain about the other side. So this is the way how life it is. I mean, as soon as, and that's why I call it the switch. And that's what I was mentioning earlier about my book, which I want to write, is the switch. There is just one button that you need to click. It's just one. There is no other one. It's just one switch. You switch your thinking, the way that you look at things.
Be positive.
Look at the life from the bright perspective. Be positive, exactly. Just look at positive. If you see a problem, an accident, think that it's something is positive. Don't look at it like, oh, you know, like if the internet crashed, don't look at it bad. If you've got a return, don't look at it bad. If you got suspension, don't look at it bad. And then I learned from these videos. I don't remember who was mentioning it in one of the videos. He was saying that as soon as you have a problem, stop for a second, have a break, smile, laugh, do something else, think positive about that problem and laugh. You know, like just laugh. Take 5-10 minutes and go back to it, and you will find yourself having ideas how to sort out this problem. It's not like as soon as you bombard, you will flash that problem in your face, and then all of a sudden you wanna sort it out. No, you cannot. This is not the way how it is. Our mind, as soon as we absorb something, like flashes comes on our face, we react to it right away, like just right away. But no, stop and laugh, walk around. If you smoke a cigarette. If you go get a juice, make a call, watch a funny video, and go back and say, okay, how can I solve it? And look at the life view. Life, I promise you, life, the amazing thing. And we have to thank God. Gratitude. This is the most powerful thing that people have to do. Is gratitude. Wake up in the morning and say, thanks God that you're adding one day in my life on this beautiful earth. Thanks God. And we have to thank God. There are so many things that God gives us. So many, like if we count them, they are countless.
Every day.
Countless. Trillions or whatever. Mm-hmm. Breathing, smelling, joy, brain, skin, seeing, and it's endless. So we have to be positive. Just be positive, 100%. I know it's difficult. And a lot of people say, well, you're crazy. I work 9 to 5 and my boss is driving me crazy and you want me to be positive? I know. We have experienced that. But to be honest with you, you can be positive. That's your choice.
Yeah, I always thank God for that. You know, we're still alive. You got that right. Oh.
That's something that's nice about going through traumas and very hard things, right? Is that after you've been through something crazy, like in my case, my dad died, right? So anytime I feel like life is overwhelming, I just think like, okay, I went through that and I'm okay. I didn't die. And there's all these other times where I thought everything was over. I thought the world ended. I thought that it would change everything and shatter my existence. But I'm still here. Like, I've been through that like 7 or 8 times and I'm okay. So now it's like anytime something happens, it's like, whatever I expect to happen probably isn't going to happen anyway. So who cares? It's going to be fine. I'll be alive or I'll die. And that's life.
And that's an opportunity also to be thankful. Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to just, you know.
It's like, what's the worst?
Or.
Guy.
Yeah, I agree. That's all I'm saying.
All right, guys. I think
it's like the question that everybody can ask themselves is, what's the worst could happen? What is the worst? Just put the worst case ahead. Because the worst thing could happen to anybody is dying. So if you see yourself doing something you want to do, really like something you really want to do, just ask yourself, if I do that, am I going to die? If the answer is no, then do it. Yeah. If the answer is yes, then don't do it. Simple.
Try not to die. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. If you guys want to keep talking for a bit, I'm just gonna get up and I'll come back. And if you guys are still here, then I'll keep the call going. But I need to go to the bathroom and stuff, so I will be gone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, go ahead. Right, so there we go. So I don't know. From my side, I don't see any questions, or I don't know if I can see any questions down there. So if some people've got some questions that they want to ask, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm seeing some chat. I don't know how old it is.
Can you?
Yeah, I can see some chat. I have I'm actually oddly enough on my phone right now recording because I don't have a webcam. So I'm actually have this in this little metal tray and have my computer screen right behind the phone. So I'm looking at the video stream as I'm recording. Anyways, got a person named Drops that says, "Hey Jack, can you give me a software crack talk right last week?" Well,
I don't hear you. Your voice is lowered a little bit. I don't know.
Is it too loud? Sorry. Just having.
No, it's not too loud. It's too low. Sorry.
It says, "Hi, Jack. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for sharing these valuable videos. I really appreciate it. I have a question about how to deal with PayPal if you ask about business information. Do you have any advice on that? I know you're not Jack, but
So if I hear your question correctly, he was actually asking how to deal with the business account in PayPal. Is that correct?
yeah, it sounds like he's asking if PayPal asks if for your business information, how you deal with that. Yeah.
Well, if you're a dropshipper, I mean, first of all, we thank him for saying that it's valuable content. If you're a dropshipper, you don't need to open a business account, because that's what my advice to everybody who's doing a dropshipping: do not open a business account. Just open a personal account and work with it until you grow your business and you know that you're making like I don't know, $2,000 a day or $1,000 a day, and then you know that your business is going faster. Then you can upgrade to a business. But I tell everybody to open as soon as they start. Just use a personal PayPal. Then you don't need to deal with their questions about your business, because if you don't have an LLC, whatever the business, you're not gonna prove it. So I encourage everybody to open a personal account, and that's, you don't need business account. You just need to personal account. So I hope I answered his question.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I haven't thought about that on the other side, the other parts of the world. But yeah, that probably would be the best way to go for like maybe people in Morocco and stuff for the personal account stuff. I guess my experience is a little different since I live in the States. I tried to open up a eBay account on a personal account, and when eBay lets you open an account, you get 50 free listings. And I started to list a couple things. One thing was around my house, another thing was online. And as a result, eBay immediately flagged my account. And they said, we want to validate who you are, make sure you're not just somebody scamming people for money on eBay, right? And so I contacted eBay and, said, hey, I'm a real person. These are things that I'm selling. One item was just, a test item just to show people how to sell on eBay. And the other one was an item around the house. And the guy was like, okay, well, because you started selling things, we're still not sure how you're going to go about them. We're going to restrict you to 10 items. And so 10 items wasn't a lot of items to really list on eBay. And really, you could make money on 10 items. Don't get me wrong. But what I actually ended up doing is I actually did end up going back in and I ended up making a eBay business account. And I also created a PayPal business account. And I linked the two together and I created a business on eBay even before I had my actual business, which I do now. But I think eBay, at least here in the United States, I don't think they scrutinize businesses as much as they do individual sellers, because they've had so many drop shippers here in the United States. And as they've come out back in February with their terms of service update and how they really don't want anybody doing retail arbitrage, which is what I do. I think if you create a business account here in the States and you create not only a business account on eBay, but a business account on PayPal and link the two together. And so now eBay can see that not only do you have a business account on eBay itself, but you have a business account on PayPal, they're more likely to actually treat you as a business and less likely to flag you or want to shut you down, because that would just be a potential for them to lose money, especially if you are a wholesaler or a big name retailer that they've never heard about. So I guess for my personal advice to people that are just starting, at least in the United States, would be, first off, I'd say if you look at my videos, I have a channel. I do have a link to how to get your EIN, which is your employer identification number, which is how you start a legal business in the United States. It doesn't cost you anything. The only thing you do is you have to apply at certain times in the day. I think it's like at 9 o'clock in the morning to like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And all you do is go to like the irs.gov website, get my EIN, and you sign up. You just basically type in whatever you want your business to be called, and literally within like 15 minutes, you have your EIN number, which is your business number. So if you're really scared that eBay is going to say, oh, you're not a real business, or what's your EIN, all I would do is encourage you to maybe wake up early one day, go to this website, put in the information. It doesn't cost you anything, 15 minutes of your time at least, and you'll have a regular business. Then you can go to eBay, you can set up your business account, go to PayPal, set up a PayPal business account, and you're set to go. And I guess that would be my advice for those people, would just be to maybe instead of thinking about a personal account, to really go the business route, because I've seen a lot more individual sellers on eBay being flagged than I have actual people that are setting up business accounts and being flagged. So I guess that'd be my advice. Maybe in, like you said, Morocco, maybe it's different. Maybe it's a little harder to get a business going there. I'm not sure what your government or how they regulate businesses there. Do you have any advice about how you would start a business in Morocco?
Well, to be honest with you, it's not that difficult to get a business in Morocco. It's not that hard. It's the same process as you in the US. But for us, it's a little bit complicated. You just need to submit papers and all of that, so you get your business running. But my advice to Moroccans, do not start a business, because you don't need, because you're going to have to start to pay taxes, and you just need to pay and pay and pay. But since you're working on the internet, you don't need a business. And what you were mentioning, you're right, you're 100% right. But I know for a fact that a lot of people, dropshippers and e-commerce in the US, they don't have a business. They just open. There are two differences. There are business account on PayPal, and there's a business account on eBay. eBay, you can open a business account. There's no problem, as long as you submit your ID, your credit card info, your PayPal, then it's fine. But for PayPal, it's different thing. PayPal, people can just start it with personal. But as you said, because that's what I've heard, a lot of Americans based in the US, they do as well. They just open a personal account in PayPal and business account on eBay. As long as you call them and then you provide them with information that they need, you are not gonna have a problem. Because I've spoken to people at eBay a million times. Like every day I call the eBay and answer. So as soon as you've got some, like for instance, if you receive an email that says, "Oh, here we go, we are scared that you might be like you want to steal people's money from the eBay," that's how you call them. "Hello, I've received this email. I want to verify my account. This is me. This is my name." Provide them with a document, and everything will be running smoothly. Because eBay, they just want to make sure that they are speaking to human, that they want to know who they are doing a business with. Otherwise, I've never heard somebody who's got suspended because they ask him for his business, for a business. Because if they do ask this question, then if I have clothes in my wardrobe and then I want to get rid of them, selling them for $2, $3, $5, and I want to sell them on eBay, then I have to set up the business in order to sell this product. No, I don't need to. I just need to open an account. They know that who I am, and I start selling. But that's my opinion. But for Moroccans, I tell them that do not open account. A business account. Why? There's one reason, because you're gonna. It's a wake-up call to government that you will have to start to pay your taxes. And then as soon as the government will start to ask you for taxes, then it's crazy. You're gonna lose more money. Especially you don't do any business in Morocco. You're based in Morocco, yes. You pay internet, yes, your bills and electricity and stuff. But you're not doing any business in Morocco, so you don't need to pay them the taxes. So you just need to do free business, like just personal. And you sell online. When you go, like when you upgrade your business, then you see yourself, you want to go in for the next level, then you can open how we call it, I don't know how we call there is a word for it in English, I lost it.
Corporation.
It's like an individual.
We have one thing that's called a sole proprietor.
Yeah, sole proprietor. Yes, exactly. We do have the same thing in Morocco, but there is it's in like I forgot the name. So sole proprietor. So you don't need to have like so many people under your company stuff. He's just a single one. Yeah, that's what I have.
Right.
So what else? Question you have?
Yeah, that's what I did. I just signed up for my business. I just signed up sole proprietor. And how it works in our area is that you sign up for a sole proprietor. They do make you pay tax, but it's anything over $500. And as a sole proprietor, you just basically put any money that you earn from the business on your regular income tax. So it really isn't actually too much of an extra step here. It's just saying, hey, I made this much money over $500 in my regular income, and you have to do that anyways because you don't turn that in. You know they're going to come for you anything over $500. So you don't want to be like, hey, I'm going to withhold this money from you, and then like a bank robber run away. They're going to come find you. So, I mean, you're going to have to report that money anyways at some point. So I guess like here in the States, that's why I say business, because you're a sole proprietor, right? Just like you're just an individual. And then that way you can say, I have a regular job over here if you have a regular job, but I also make money on the side. And this is just how I put it, and they're just going to look at that and they're not going to tax you ever extra. They're just going to base on whatever your business made, those two numbers together and be like, okay, this is how much you made. So I guess it's not, for us, it's not as complicated when it comes to paying taxes on that. Now, you're right. If you go to become like a limited liability company or a corporation, you're totally right. There's a lot more paperwork you have to go through. You have to file a whole separate form. There's a lot more hoops you have to jump through, and when you're just starting out, you don't want to have to jump through all those too. You just want to get in there. You want to sell, and then say, hey, I just made this much money a year. Take part of your taxes out for good. So yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I wouldn't recommend anybody really starting a LLC or corporation right off the get go unless they're really making over $1,000 a month and they're consistent, and probably not unless they're actually even making their own product, private labeling on Amazon, to where people would actually want to sue, because when you're selling stuff on eBay, right? You don't actually make the product. Your name is not on the product on eBay. Those are products that have somebody else's name. So if somebody buys a product from you, right, and they get hurt or they get injured or killed or whatever for using it, they really can't come back and sue you because all you did is say, hey, this is somebody else's product. Buy it from me, but it's not really my product. I'm just reselling it. So there's really no liability for somebody to sue you. They actually go back to the company to make the product. The only time you want that, like I said, is if you were actually to put your name on a product and then send it into Amazon and sell it on the Amazon marketplace, and then somebody use it and get hurt. Then yeah, you'd want some kind of protection. But yeah, just starting out, individual account or like I said, a sole proprietor account would probably be good here in the United States. Over where you're from, like you said, a individual account would probably be good. I don't know how. I think you're right. If you just call up eBay and say, hey, I'm a really good seller, and even if you have 10 items, you could probably just sell stuff around your house. Do that for a month. Not only that, but I've also heard advice like buy stuff. Buy stuff on eBay with your account, because every time you buy stuff, your account's still getting feedback. And the more feedback you have, that actually goes toward your account as a value as a whole, even when you're selling. So people, when they come to buy stuff from your store, they're going to look at your feedback score, right? So if you have a high feedback, that's an indication that maybe, you're a more trusted seller. People are probably going to want to buy from you versus somebody who's, nobody's ever heard of them. So yeah, I think you're spot on with that. I just say, even if you get limited 10 items, just buy stuff, sell a few things around your house and get started. What do you suggest for people to get started? You suggest the same thing pretty much?
Well, every single seller in eBay started with zero feedback. We agree. So for me is one thing and only. Start, that's the first one. It's action. The second thing, you don't care about feedback from the first. Like, you don't put it as an obstacle saying, oh, if I don't have feedback, I won't sell. No, you can sell with zero feedback because everybody starts with zero feedback. The most important is you need to be a trusted seller. Your customer service, your tracking number online, uploaded on time, your package are your email to customer email and appreciate their business, like they purchase from you, and just try, treat your store as a business. You don't need to screw your business. And I'm sure if anybody who want to sell online, open an eBay store, not a store, but start with the 50 these things and less than 10 items, just make them nice, stand out, nice title, nice descriptions, photos, everything is beautiful. Treat your customers the way that you want to be treated, and there will be no problem at all. There will be no hassle with the customers, no eBay, nobody will question you. As long as you're doing good customer service, no problem, nobody will talk to you. Because why eBay is freaking out recently, since the last April last year, and I'm talking about it all the time, is eBay found out that there are a lot of sellers that just screw the business. Because we as a sellers, we are not, a buyer, when he purchases something from eBay, he doesn't purchase from X or Y or Z or you or me. No, he purchased from eBay. So his experience related to eBay, not a seller, because they don't know. So what happened is they found out there are a lot of people screwing out the business and screwing their stores, and the customer service is very bad, and the rates like score like feedback is 80%, 70%, 50%. That is very bad. But when you keep your store on a high standard, 100% or 99 point whatever, the minimum is 95, then you're good. Then you will have any problem at all. eBay will let you do your business, you sell good, you don't have any problem. But as soon as you start to screw things, you don't care about the package, if it's delivered or not, you late shipment, you all of that, then just people, then eBay, first thing eBay is gonna screw, yeah. And I remember last time, what's his name? I forgot, one of the UK, if you remind me his name, he's a UK dropshipper, based in the UK, what's his name? He's very famous YouTuber, he does dropshipping as well.
Is it?
I don't remember his name.
The only one that I'm really familiar with.
I forgot his name, to be honest with you.
That's all right. Yeah, the only UK dropshipper I'm familiar with is Wholesale Ted. They're more of a Shopify dropshipper over in the UK. It's actually a woman who does the videos there. I'm not too familiar with the UK dropshippers. But yeah, you're totally
Andrew,
right.
sorry, Andrew.
Okay.
Andrew. And this guy, he was mentioning in one of his videos, because he's very, like, he's been in job shipping for a long time, and he has his own video and he has his own course. And then he was mentioning the last time when everybody was getting freaked out, and he says, guys, he had one of the eBay stores, and then his VAs were screwing him out. They don't not their production time. They're not uploading tracking numbers. They are not doing properly their job properly. So his account got suspended. Why? Because the customer service. His store was like, bang. So that's why his store got suspended. And then he had to call them and told them, listen, sorry, that was my mistake. And then they had to tell him, okay, listen, you have to get your store back together, get yourself back together in order to do the business. And then he agreed, and he got back his store and he started to sell, and things go smoothly. But when people screw their store and don't do a good job, then of course they're gonna get screwed and get out of the business.
Right. Yeah, that's why it's really imperative that you screen your VAs really good before you get VAs. Really make sure they understand the importance of customer service, how valuable it is. Not just your store to continue to make money, but for them to have a job working for you. Because if your store goes under their job, they lose their job too. So, I would totally say, really, really stress the value of customer service and responding to people in a timely manner that have questions. and getting your tracking numbers updated on time, because, you know, we might be sellers on eBay, but it's not just our name when we sell a product, it's eBay's name. So we are effectively representing eBay as a company by our job. So we want to really put forth the best image we can so that eBay will have a good image. And if we're giving eBay a good image, we're not going to really have to worry about being flagged and all that, because we're doing what eBay wants. We're showing people eBay is a trusted website to go to. And realistically, you know, we should want to do that anyways, because that's going to encourage eBay to continue to have business. Because if eBay runs out of business, we run out of business effectively. So yeah, there's some other videos too that I have yet to watch. I haven't really gotten into getting my own VAs yet. Maybe if things start really taking off in the next couple months, I might. But yeah, one of the things I've heard is that you really want to use a company that will provide you good VAs, that screens their VAs. One website I've heard of a lot, and some of the tons of drop shippers, was a site called Upwork. I think it's like upwork.com. And supposedly they really screen the VAs that they get and make sure that they understand what they're doing. The other thing that I've heard people say is that some of these VAs, right, these people have never done a drop shipping business. They don't know what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to go about it. And one thing I've always heard told was, you know, start a YouTube video series, you know, training these people, showing them on your computer what exactly you want them to do. You know, give different scenarios with customers, how to handle different issues like items not received, or items that were damaged, or returns or whatnot. And just really, really, you know, show in your videos that customers are number one. You know, you always want the customer to come first, to be number one. And, you know, as long as you are explaining to them in your videos and even in your personal communication with them effectively, you know, that's going to help you in the long run to not have your VAs end up screwing up, which they still might screw up at some point. But the thing is that that's how you determine whether they're a VA that you want on your team, because it's whether they learn from you and they take your advice and they grow from that mistake, like we all can, or whether they continue to make that same circle multiple times. And that's how you say, you know, maybe you're just not the VA for me, and get somebody different. But yeah, I can see how getting somebody who didn't want to listen to you, or, you know, wouldn't want to follow your advice, could really damage your business. So it's very, very important to get somebody that you can trust, for sure.
Yeah. So I opened the live chat on my phone so I can see what the questions that people have. So if there is any way to share courses in French. Well, Jamal, he says, if there is any way you share courses in French. Unfortunately, I do speak French, pas français bien sûr, but the problem is I'm not that good in French. So I've got a YouTube channel called Success with Assad. So Success with Assad, which I share contents in English and Moroccan. So if you're Moroccan, you're welcome to join the YouTube page. It's Success with Assad. It's the same as Facebook. So French, unfortunately, I won't be able to do French because I might screw it while doing that. So there is a drop. Say, do you speak French, bro? No, you don't speak French.
No, I don't speak French. I know a little bit of Spanish. Okay. That's about it. A little bit of Japanese too.
Nice.
Wish I was more bilingual, and I have deep appreciation for people who are, because I really think that's how you can connect the world, you know, on a more personal level. I just haven't. I just have had so much other things going on my plate right now. I haven't had time to really dedicate to learning. But if I did have more time, I'd probably learn a lot more now. If I might say, I don't know about videos where people do for drop shipping, but if they could find a course that had the text, you know, just like a course that explain everything with words on paper, they can use Google Translate, and they can translate.
Okay.
So I guess that would be a recommendation for that, would be find something that's written on the internet, Google Translate that, and translate that into French for you. That's what I would say for a start.
Yeah. Well. There is a. I'm sure that there is, because I've never searched on French. To be honest, I never did on French, because my keyboard is English, so I speak English and Arabic, so I don't do research in French. But I'm sure if you do in French, comment faire dropshipping, whatever, so you might find that in YouTube, because I'm sure that YouTube has French YouTube channels or courses. Definitely would find one. Can you give me a software track stock and price? Last update. I don't understand your question. If you can just rephrase it one more time, because I didn't get it. Can you give me a software track stock and price? Last update. Oh, I don't know if I understood. Well, there is a TrackerBot. That's one of the software that you can track your prices. And no, it's not tracking prices, but stock and price. Well, there is DSM tool. There is AutoDS. There is. Do you have any you can share with Drops? Because what I use is DSM tool and AutoDS, and I'm having a huge problem with AutoDS and DSM tool. This I will share it in my next video, because I'm uploading it now. I've done it already, but I'm uploading it. It takes so long, because one is 30 minutes, another one is 45 minutes. I'm talking about account flagged, and I'm talking about in the video. I'm talking about APIs and what is happening with APIs and why people got flagged recently. So this video is very, very, very important. And it's I will be in 2 or 3 days in my channel, which is Success with Assets. So I'm gonna talk about that very deeply.
Yeah, I currently use, actually, to tell you the truth, the only software I've tried other software too, like Yabella and RVShip and other software like that. I've also briefly tried DSM tool. Currently, I'm running AutoDS, really. I'd like to actually hear more about your problems with AutoDS, because that's interesting. I know that AutoDS, I have it set to filter a lot of items and stuff. Maybe that's not your case.
Okay, I'll tell you the problem right away, and then you might agree with me. Okay, so you've got your computer in front of you, right? So do you drop ship from which supplier are you using?
Sorry. Oh, supplier, Amazon. I use
Amazon. Okay, cool. So you go to one of your listings, all right? So just edit it, like you want to edit the listing, and you go to the description. When you're in the description, let me know. I mean the product that you listed from AutoDS. So the one that you've uploaded through AutoDS, you go to eBay, open that listing as you want to edit it, and go to the description and let me know if you're there.
Okay, you want me to load something that an AutoDS Finder item, or are you talking about something I personally listed?
No. You know the list of product that you uploaded from AutoDS?
Oh,
so choose one of the items. Yeah, so choose the item that you've already uploaded through to AutoDS, and choose it from your eBay listings, and click edit, and you go through the listing and go to the description, and I will show you something. Okay. You go to the descriptions like you want to edit that listing.
Right. So I'm going to edit, and I'm going to edit this on AutoDS side. Okay. All right.
No. You edit not from AutoDS. You edit it from eBay. Because our concern is eBay.
Let me go in there real quick then.
And I will show you there is a huge problem over there. And not anybody talking about it. I think that not everybody knows it. So
yeah, it's kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't even sure anything about this. So edit something that I did. Okay, I'm gonna edit something. I do know I've had problems in the past editing stuff on eBay, and then AutoDS kind of messed up a little bit. I did that mistake. I took something off on the eBay side and didn't take it off on the AutoDS side, and it keeps appearing. Other than that, okay, now I'm on the full item edit.
So, you are at description?
Yes.
Description. Okay, cool. So you click HTML. On the description, there is two bars. There's one is normal one, another one is HTML.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you click to HTML.
Yep.
Okay, you can find a lot of whatever information. Then you click on it, and you do Command C, Command F, Command or Control.
Right.
Fine. Okay. So you are clicking on the description. Yeah, you clicked already on the description. Okay, so when you do Command F and type Amazon, and hit Enter.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Are you referring to Are you referring to sometimes they're taking the images from Amazon and then Amazon labels?
Okay, so what I'm referring to in your description, when you uploading product from AutoDS through AutoDS to your eBay, in the description, there's still the codes and HTML and the links and all those data from Amazon. Because when you go to the description and you click Command F and write Amazon and hit Enter, you will see you see the result next to that bar that you click Amazon. How many numbers you find there? That's supposed to be a number. How many they found?
I have found 0 actually. To be honest with you, this first listing. I can check another listing. This one's not showing Amazon. It's something I've actually sold. It comes from Amazon.
Because in my experience with AutoDS and DSM tool, what happened is when I went to my listing that I created through AutoDS and I went to the description and I clicked HTML and I clicked in the HTML description and I called Command C. And I clicked Amazon, and I found a lot of Amazon words in the description. So this is one of the reasons people got flagged because eBay doesn't have a team that they go through every single listing, and then they said, okay, this.
I think I'm losing you there, Assad. I think it's your internet connection there. I think I know what you're saying though about the Amazon being in the description. See if he comes back here. But for those who are still at home wondering what he's talking about, when you get a description from Amazon, sometimes what it'll do is it'll put the words Amazon.
Pardon?
Oh, you're back here. We lost you for a second. It's the internet.
Hi, as usual.
Hey, maybe that's just an opportunity to make something to improve that, right? No, I know what you're talking about. And yeah, when I first started listing stuff, I ran into that problem where it would say Amazon in the product description, and you wouldn't even have to use HTML for that too. It would even sometimes just be in the regular description. Now, let's see here. I actually went to your AutoDS, right? And you go to settings. There should be a 0 words blacklist setting. If you want to go to your AutoDS real quick, I can see if I can walk you through that. Because I think that has it.
Well, I don't have my computer with me, so.
Okay. When you get your computer in front of you, what you want to do is you can actually put a blacklist of all the words you do not want to appear in your title or in your description, and AutoDS has a way that you can set that up so that you will never have to worry about Amazon ever appearing in your description again. So what you do is you log into your AutoDS dashboard, okay? You're going to want to go to settings. When you go to settings, you're going to want to scroll down under general settings. There's a thing called 0/keyword blacklist, okay?
I know that. I did it already for DSM tool. I did that already on a DSM tool, but you know the difference. I'll tell you the difference. You do that because I've done it in a DSM tool, and then anything that has to do with Amazon or Walmart, you choose the words that you don't want to appear in your listing. But that has nothing to do with the listing because it's an HTML. It doesn't show in a listing. Like for instance, now if you open up, for instance, a new listing and you go to any product in Amazon or whatever, regardless of the product, you copy the bullet points next to the picture. If you copy those bullet points and you paste them in your description, normal, and then you click HTML and you hit in the description and you do a find, you click Amazon, definitely will find Amazon there, even though there is no Amazon on the bullet points, but the bullet points, when you copy them in your listing, that's still description HTML that shows Amazon.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to look at that a little further. I mean, I've checked a few listings. Excuse me. I've checked a few listings, and I haven't seen Amazon listed, but maybe I haven't seen anything. So give me 1 second. I'll try to see if I can find another listing. Yeah, detail with more bullets. Let's see here. And bullets in it. Let's see here. From Amazon. I've done some outside sourcing, but those are things I don't have monitor.
Okay, you know what? You give me 2 minutes. I'll be in my office, and then I'll call you back, and then I might share the screen with you and show you how it is. All right?
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
You give me 2 minutes, okay? I'll be back.
All right. All right. A couple minutes in. Just try to. I think I lost Jack here. I don't know what Jack went to.
Jack, he said he's going to the bathroom, so I think he's gonna do a bath massage and.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead.
It's all right. So. Yeah, I'll leave you for now. You'll be alone for a moment, so you might ask some questions. And as soon as I'll be in my office, and then I'll call you. I will join you. We'll join you, and then I will show you. All right.
All right, that sounds good. We'll see you in a minute, Hassan. All right, so. Waiting still on Jack to come back. If you guys have any questions, we do have a chat open right now that I will feel free to answer until Jack comes back. Still looking here on the screen. We'll have to see if something's come up, make sure he's okay, make sure he hasn't fallen in. Have to give him maybe a little bit of a rough time for that. But this is our mastermind group. We meet every Friday. So if you guys are interested, we have a Discord. I'm sure Jack will be putting the link on the bottom of the description. If not, I'll try to put one on my videos as well, but I'm sure he will. We meet every Friday. Today we started at 9 o'clock, I believe, in Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are around that time, make sure you guys check in. We can talk more about any questions you guys have with drop shipping, any headaches, startups, whatever. You can check out my YouTube video channel too. It's Green Knight C on YouTube. You can also check out Assad's a channel. He says he also does his in a little bit of French. He also does Moroccan. So if you guys are from that area or that part of the world, make sure you check in with him and get on his channel to get some really great advice for how to do things over there. I also recommend continuing to stay with Jack Pitman's channel. He also has some great videos, good chats. I know he also does Skillshare. Check out his Skillshare. They have a link in the description on some of his videos where you can get, I believe it is a 60-day free Skillshare trial where you can check out all of Skillshare, not just his videos, but all the videos available on Skillshare. Totally free. You don't have to pay $1 for the first 60 days. So it's a great opportunity to go there, learn. I know he's doing video courses right now on how to do YouTube videos, how to set them up, and probably what software he uses. So check that out. and we're hoping to get some more drop shippers in this channel so that we can talk to them, link up with them, and see, how you guys are doing, how you guys are progressing. If you guys have any questions, I'm not the most knowledgeable person, I'll admit, just getting started. But if there's anything I can help you guys with, or maybe even a word of encouragement you need, or how to get past certain roadblocks, if I have the answers, I'll definitely give that to you guys. But for sure. And anyways, it's just a very long journey. I know it's hard sometimes starting out in drop shipping. For me personally, I did a couple months of worth of research before I really decided to get into drop shipping, and really dove into learning more about it. And there was a lot of questions I had, but I will say that it was a good choice I made. There is still money to be made. A lot of people think that because, you're drop shipping on eBay, that it's a very saturated market. You might have a hard time, selling anything. You sell things, don't sell people. There's too many people. The thing is that there's not too many people. Yes, there is some saturation, but there's still room for you. The question is, are you willing to bite the bullet and do it? Or are you just going to continue to make excuses and put it off? Because at the end of the day, the choice is ultimately yours. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So what I would recommend to people maybe that are on a low budget, and I've talked to some people, I've talked to a guy at work, he's, he doesn't have a lot of money. What I've recommended to him, and what I'd recommend to anyone, if you're just starting out, there are these automatic tools out there. I personally use AutoDS. I have a affiliate link in my descriptions on my videos. You can check it out. It's $1, I believe, for like the first 7 days. I think they might still have a special where you can do a month. But what I would recommend is not even using the tools for starting, right? Just what I would recommend is opening up maybe even a personal account, free eBay store, not a store, but a free eBay account. And just start listing things around your home. Get familiar with the process of how listing works. Not only that, but the things that you want to sell around your house, look them up on eBay. Use the incognito function that Jack talked about. Incognito those products. Look up to see what they're selling for, and kind of use that as a pricing strategy to see what kind of money you can make for that item, as well as learn more about how to do competitor research to really find out who out there is making sales. If you go to your you go to your eBay and you're looking for these products that you're trying to sell, and you find some people that are selling that product, and you click on their listings, you click on people maybe on the top, there should be a number by underneath their name, and it'll show you how many products of that are sold. And you want to find people that have products that are sold. So when you find somebody and they'll say like maybe 1 out of 7 sold or 5 out of 10 sold, what you can do is you can actually click on that link, and what it will do is it'll bring up a listing of every time that product sold. So what you want to do is you want to see and make sure that that product has been sold at least maybe 2 or 3 times this past month before you can see whether this competitor that you're going to be, matching your prices with is somebody who you want to match prices with, somebody who's going to be relevant for matching your prices. Because you don't want to go and click on somebody who maybe has sold 2 of these products, but the last time they sold them was like 2 months ago, and that's all they sold. You're not going to want to compete against somebody who's not even currently in the market. You're going to want somebody who's had sales and it sold at least, I would say, probably at least 3 to 5 times. Okay, some people say 8. 3 to 5 times this past month. Maybe 5 would probably be a good middle number. So 5 times this past month before you base your competitor research on that person. So just really check that person out, check that seller out, and go from there. Just sell stuff from your house. base it on other people, and then do your own research. There are people, I was very skeptical, to be honest with you, when I started. I was like, do people really buy stuff on eBay from Amazon, right? Because that's what I do. I source my products from Amazon majority of the time, and then I list them on eBay. And one of my big questions I ran into is, why would anybody, right? Why would anybody go to eBay, buy a product from me, right? When they could go to Amazon, find the product for like maybe $1 or $2 cheaper, and then buy it from them, right? Truth be told, a lot of people don't like Amazon. Maybe in the past they've been burned. Maybe in the past their customer service hasn't been so friendly. Maybe they used to sell on Amazon and Amazon treated them like crap, because I've heard sometimes Amazon doesn't treat their sellers very great. They really favor the buyer, and sometimes for whatever reason they get burned on Amazon. So now they have this bad reputation with Amazon, right? So now they don't want to buy from anything out of Amazon because they will be supporting Amazon. So now they go to eBay. Well, bingo, that's where we are. We're on eBay. So we give people an option who don't want to directly support Amazon. People like you and me, who maybe are on the lower end of the spectrum, make some money on the side, and get some sales from Amazon without actually directly supporting Amazon, even though, they're still coming from Amazon. Hey, Jack, welcome back. Glad you didn't fall in. I'm going to give you crap for that. Haha, pun intended.
Yeah,
How's it
so
going, man?
I ended up having a conversation with one of my roommates. So my roommate has a friend who's here from Honduras, and she was in like a really not good situation, but there was someone she loved a lot there who was really good to her. So she is going through a lot right now because she had to leave this place, but she is in love with this person and can't talk to them. So she was with this person for 4 years. So I was just talking to her and comforting her. So normally I would not just disappear like that, but it looks like you're talking to someone in the live chat. Is that what you're doing? I didn't expect. I thought this call would be over by now.
It's all right. I think his name is Assad, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
guy I'm talking to. Yeah, we were talking to him. He was talking about some issues he had on AutoDS, and he said he was going to his office and he was going to show us more about the issues he's having, because I tried to pull him up on my side and I couldn't find the issues, but he said he's having these issues. So I was just pretty much going over to anybody who might be watching our channel, or your channel technically, any issues they might have, any things that I started going through, why things are selling. So pretty much just keeping us entertained a little bit. We're trying to wait.
Awesome, man. I wasn't expecting that. The moment I chose to be gone for more than 5 minutes, I was like, I'm just leaving. I'm just live streaming my empty room.
Right. No, yeah. I know I'm not a big camera person. I'm not a big YouTube personality, but I'm a human just like everyone else. I have my tales, I have my side of things, and what I enjoy, just like you, is I enjoy helping people. My end goal is, I want to make some money on eBay. I'd like to make some money drop shipping. I'm even looking into private labeling on Amazon, or even just retail arbitrage on Amazon, just to make some money, maybe get away from my job a little more. But my end game goal is actually to help people, because I really care about people. That's part of my faith. That's part of my belief. And so that's kind of what I feel like, if you believe in something and you follow it, then you should also walk in it, right? So that's what I'm trying to do, is I want to walk in what I believe fully, without getting too religious or philosophical here. But that's really my end game goal, is just to continue to do what I feel that God has called me to do with my life.
YouTube channel provides a great opportunity to do that.
Right. And so I would love to be able to encourage people. And that's kind of like what kind of pulled me to you, to be honest with you, was, you don't just look at it as making money, as a lot of people do. Some people, they show these Lamborghinis, right? Or they show the expensive houses and pools and stuff. Nothing against Mark and his pool. It looks awesome, But I'm more about, like, I saw how you cared more about, person's, emotional state. Like, what are they going through, emotionally? Like, are they getting stressed out? You just tell them, calm down. things are going to work out, you know, don't get freaked out, you know. And I even saw that on your Udemy course. It's like, man, this guy knows how it is, you know, this guy knows how, you know, unfortunately, you know, emotions still can kind of get wrapped up in those things and how to deal with them.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I really enjoyed, you know, how you liked helping people like that, because like at the very basis of who I am is like wanting to help people as well.
I hope
So
you, I hope you keep participating in these calls then, because the whole point of this is because a lot of people will join a call and then like they may be in one call or maybe 2 calls in a row, maybe even 3, but then they leave. So I'm not really concerned about what these calls are about in the beginning. The point is just to identify a group of other individuals who will regularly participate over a long period of time, and then to be able to do something with this group of people. But at the moment, this is essentially like a filtration system to identify the people, because a lot of people will say something, they will say they would love to, myself included. I have said like, oh, I would love to do this, and I feel like I do, but then things change. So when people are able to regularly contribute and join over a long sustained period of time, I think we will be able to do some amazing things with this group of people, right? But it will take a while to form.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you for changing the times on the videos too. Because I mean, like I said, I live in the Central America, and I still, you know, I get off of my job, you know, at like 10 o'clock at night. I still, you know, when you get off your job, you don't want to go to bed immediately. You still have all that energy. Yeah. So I'm like 2 o'clock in the morning. So thanks for making these a lot later in the day so I can get up and get ready and come join you guys. I appreciate that. Welcome back, Asad.
Guys, do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Welcome back.
Yeah,
I'm back. Well. Great. So you left, and then we had so much thing going on back, you know, and then we said, where is Jack? He's just disappeared, lived the life on, and then
yeah, I'm super surprised by that, because I was completely expecting that you guys were both going to leave the call as soon as I didn't come back quickly. No. So I'm super surprised that you guys are still here. And and Green, when I got back, he was talking, like continuously talking. So this is super interesting to me, because it is unusual.
No, we were talking actually. We were talking, and we had to answer some questions and stuff, and it was nice. It's beautiful, you know, to share, and then we didn't want to just you know, guys, bye, Jackie's left, and then there is nobody who's gonna host the live. No, we're here, you know.
Well, I did kind of say, I was like, all right, I probably want to end soon. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then so I did say that I was probably gonna leave. But it shows that you guys are more comfortable on YouTube, and that's like really exciting for me.
I love it. I love cameras. I love talking to people, and I don't freak out in front of the camera. Camera is something nice, you know, like it's a friendly thing to talk, and especially you know that people are listening. That is the most important. If you know that people listening and then getting something out of what you're talking about, then you can keep talking. But if some people just bullshit, like seriously, there is one guy, I'm not gonna mention his name. I'm not gonna mention his name at all. I swear that every time I go to his channel or what video, you can click and there is no content. Oh, I swear that he never gives something. What he says, hi guys, how are you? Welcome to this video, which I'm gonna show you this amazing technique, blah blah blah. You know what? Join my course. I was like, what the hell? What did you tell people? You know, like just sending them to your course. It's crazy. Like, talk, share something, help them a little bit, then drive them to your course.
Give something what he does as well.
Yeah, come to my course. Come to my course. I swear, I might share it with you between me and you, and you will tell me you're right, but I'll give it to you. But I'm serious. The whole entire channel has that video. There is something amazing you need to know. Don't get your whatever, you name it. As soon as you click the video, guys, you need to join my course. That's it. Oh, so what we're talking about earlier?
You were talking about your AutoDS problems and how Amazon is coming up in your HTML.
I will show it to you.
Yeah. I still looked through some of the listings. I didn't find it after you left.
All right, so let me show you something. So let's go to. Is there any questions that we might answer? Okay, you don't.
You mind if I talk to somebody that's asking a question real fast while you're doing that, looking that up?
Yeah, of course. We can ask questions. I mean, answer questions.
Yeah, I got a question from Noor in the chat, and we were talking about how I use Amazon for my eBay sales. And their question was, you don't worry about getting shut down for using Amazon Prime to deliver, right? And my answer, and I put this in the chat, but I'll also just say this too, is I don't. The reason I don't is it is so easy to set up another Amazon account. And you can set up an Amazon account, and every time you create an Amazon account, right, you get 30 days free Prime trial if you want it. And some people will be like, well, can't they tell it's the same person? Well, if you use a thing called a VPN or a virtual private network, what that does is that hides your IP address. So if you're really concerned about it, what you can do is you can use a VPN, set up a new account on Amazon, sign up for their 30-day trial, and they'll never know the difference. So what I'm essentially saying is you could use a stealth Amazon account to do that. And I've never had a problem so far. And I feel if they were to ever flag me or to do that or to stop, shipping my orders, that's probably what I would do. I'd just open a whole new email address and sign up with Amazon with a new email address using a VPN to cover my IP and just do the whole thing over again. So I don't worry about that at all. That'd be my advice to anybody trying to think about doing that, though.
Yeah, making new Amazon ordering accounts is super simple. I definitely I concur with what you're saying. It's not it's an example of one of those fears that people have that stops them from doing something, but it's not actually something that matches reality. Right.
And there's always workarounds too. Like we've been saying, when you hit a roadblock, that's just an opportunity to improve, to get better, learn from your mistakes or grow from the problems around you. Definitely. Kind of think of it like this, right? I don't know if you've done any gardening. When you plant a seed, right? You plant a seed in the soil, right? It has to push against all that dirt to grow. But without all that dirt pushing against it, it would never be a strong plant. It would just die off, right? Because I don't know if you've ever got in school and they give you like these seeds and they give you like, it's like that brown paper. It used to, like a paper towel, like a brown paper towel. And you put it in a Ziploc bag with water.
Yeah.
And you'd grow that plant, right? And it would grow. But if you went to try to put outside and like to replant it, it would just die because it wasn't a strong plant. It didn't have all that resistance to make it grow.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what I'm trying to reflect is we're kind of like that seed. If you have resistance, you're only going to go stronger if you desire to push through. So I've heard that analogy used before, and that's kind of always what comes to mind when I think about problems in my life. Is just think of yourself as that seed. Those problems are there to make you stronger, to make you grow. If you decide to let them do that. It's all about up here. It's all about your mind.
We can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to the things that happen to us and how we respond.
Yeah, definitely. We think similar a lot, it seems, in that area. It's cool. I like that.
It's important mentality to have, I think.
I agree. Did you find that, Assad? I'll see. I saw him working on that a little bit.
Man, I'm still blown that you guys are still in this call. That is so crazy to me.
Well,
that's so cool.
I have a lot of respect for your channel, and I wouldn't want to leave your audience hanging. To be honest with you, I wouldn't want to come to some channel and have it drop off. So I'm, if it's within my power to help, keep you going, I'm all for it. No, you're welcome. And Nora just responded. He said, "Thank you for the good answer." You're welcome, Nora. Glad we can help. That's what these calls are here for, as Jack would probably tell you. We're here to help.
Okay, can I share screen?
Oh, but I think Assad's trying to reconnect.
Huh?
We can kind of hear you a little bit.
Oh, well. Okay. That's crazy.
Oh, I'm seeing
It's crazy.
a screen now. Well, I'm seeing one
Oh.
image of green.
Oh. So the internet is crazy. Let me do something else. See, you don't see this. I mean, you don't hear.
It's that Moroccan internet.
We can kind of hear you, but no, we can't see your screen. I guess no. I see something, but
Wait.
it wouldn't be accurate to say we can see what you're doing. It's fun. It's funny you say that, Green. It's like I think you just showed. That,
Okay, so do you see it now?
What?
No, we can't see anything.
Oh, so I shared. It shows that.
So right now we are just seeing a still frame of your video. So it's not moving, and also your voice is split up. So it's like this. But Green, what I was about to say is that there is a distinction that I kind of want to make, because in this case of this call right now, my loyalty is towards you guys who are actually participating and who joined the call, not towards the people who are watching. And while it is true that it is very good to be helpful, it is also important to understand what I'm trying to do with this call is to create a group of people and get some camaraderie going on. Every time I do a live, there will be drop shipping questions, and I don't mind asking these, but there are reasons that I don't want to become exclusively known for drop shipping information. I want to go past just drop shipping. So that is just some food for thought, in that like these calls, they exist from my perspective for you guys, you two people right here who joined this call. I want to develop relationships with you guys and get to know you better, because you are people who are in this network of people in this audience who will actually press the button and show their faces. This means that you are very different from most other people. And so I will look at the live streams sometimes, or the chat questions, but that is mostly only in the beginning of the call. The moment other people are in the call, like you two right now, then you guys are what I am focused on with the group. And so for me, this is the first time you guys are here. So as things progress, I will try and tailor the call to what you guys are about and what you are interested in. Hey, we can see your screen now.
Oh, do you? Cool. Okay, so what I was earlier and pasting. For instance, this is my listing, all right? This is a description. If I go to Amazon, okay, I choose this product, whatever the product is, okay? So I started to buy it to this product.
Sorry if you can hear my keyboard.
So I go. You go to your listing and Control V. You can see here, yeah? I pasted.
So right now we just see the item description field, and it is still blank. But now we are seeing the cursor move. But there is a long delay.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Now we can see that you have pasted a description.
Right. Okay, so this just click, nothing shows as an Amazon. So else. Everybody sees that it's a product just or bullet points, which just life, blah, blah, blah. Can see no yet or not yet? Do you? Oh, hello.
You're kind of fading in and out there a little bit. We can kind of see kind of see what you pasted, but it just is, you're kind of going in and out a little bit, trying to hear what you're saying.
I have no idea how to fix this. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's one of the most frustrating things on earth.
This is super amusing.
I can do about it at all. It's 12 megapixel, 12 mega or whatever, which we're working here in Morocco, and then that is the most. Otherwise, I have to do a fiber optic, which cost me $250 a month. $150, seriously. So that's a lot. So I don't see the HTML on the description.
Now we can. It's actually kind of performing decently at the moment.
Oh, cool. Thanks God. So when I copy from Amazon, copy that police or which is for search, and then type Amazon and hit enter, you can see that there is Amazon in Amazon is Amazon in there. So I didn't copy anything that has to do with Amazon, but I just copied bullet points. So you know what I'm getting at?
Well, on my phone, the screen is frozen to the standard view, so I'm actually looking on YouTube, which is actually, as Jack mentioned, showing the HTML code. I see what you're saying about the Amazon media-amazon.com, but that goes back to what I was saying about the image, that what it's doing is it's uploading images from Amazon, and it's still using the Amazon tag and the source for the image itself. Is that
so? It's not copy the image. I didn't copy any image. I just copied the bullet points only. So when I copy the ones only, I didn't copy any images.
Okay.
And I put it on.
Okay, now I see where you're
on dash blah 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 blah. So what happened if you list this product automatically, like it's just like you copy description or title, and then you keep going, because here
links. You're not allowed to have links. Is that what's happening?
It's flag you because that's an algorithm. That's why most of people are got flagged because of that. And what I found out recently, search on the internet, figuring out what's going on with this flagging thing, and everybody's freaking out. And then I found that APIs, softwares, this and tool and auto has the same issue. If you list through this and tool or AutoDS, they will do the same thing in description. I'm talking about the description. Photos, I am not sure, but I'm definitely that might be the same thing. That they copy and paste description. When you go
So some metadata is getting copied along with.
Yes, metadata. Yes, exactly. So there's not a problem with an API as a link to your store. More it's about that So people are getting lost about APIs, it's against terms and conditions, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not about that. It's just photos, for instance, from you copy it in your computer and you upload to your eBay. That will still have metadata in the photo. Put it in Photoshop or...
I don't think that it is... I don't think that this is what is causing people's accounts to get flagged. It is... Like, API flagging is highly likely to be a real thing. So is the item location mismatch and API flagging are two of the ways that eBay flags accounts. In this situation with the link, eBay has a system automatically that will detect if you have links in your listings or contact information, and it will flag it for this reason, regardless of where the link goes to, because you are not supposed to share links to other places that you can purchase things. For example, a manufacturer's website or a supplier's website, right? So back when I ran the bulk store, there were hundreds of thousands of items, and a lot of the items had like links to Walmart in the description and this kind of thing. And I would have to go through, because eBay's system would notify them, and you get a notification saying you have to remove contact information from these 6,334 listings or whatever, right? So I know eBay has a system to automatically flag links being in your listings. And it is possible for eBay to see the HTML and see a link there. And this can be super confusing because eBay says, hey, there's a flag here, or there's a link here, you have to remove it. And then you go to look at it and you look at the standard view and there is no link. So I know that eBay does have a system to flag the links in the HTML, which is what is happening here. I just do want to make the distinction that this flag is separate from a dropshipping flag. I'm not saying it's impossible that eBay could use this information to flag dropshippers. Just I want to make sure that everybody is aware that eBay has a separate system to flag links in descriptions and to push these flags to the user so that the user can fix and remove the links. That is a part of eBay that exists. And I just wanted to make sure that was talked about.
I mean, that's different. And you say, here we go, let's fix your listing, whatever the email is. It's different. I mean, but another one link, it's an Amazon or something. Search. There's 4 things that that the main reasons who got flagged. So the first one is copy and paste and bullet point photos, downloading it from the website and uploading it to eBay listing. The third one is item location. If you put an item in Chicago and then you go to buy from, of course, there will be a misconception between your location, real location of the product, and where the location when the product comes from. So that 2 different things. So item location. The number 4 is a customer service. If you don't treat store properly, if you've got so much delayed product, you've got 85% quality feedback, behavior, and so that will affect your account. The 4 main reasons, I don't know if you can stack, but guys, copy and pasting information from software to your behavior and So I think those are the main reasons.
Unfortunately, we can only hear a little bit of what you're saying. It's chopping up. You can hear a couple words, but it's super hard to follow, to be honest.
I see what he was saying, though. I finally found Amazon in one of my HTML files, but it didn't show in my listing. It just showed in the HTML.
Yeah.
It didn't say buy it from Amazon. It said Amazon is filled with them. So it didn't actually say that I got the product from Amazon. It just said that Amazon filled them. So, but anyways, just to be on the safe side, I went and deleted that, updated my listing.
Yeah.
All
I have to every single list. So the stores that I have, I removed every single listing, everything. And I started from the open on that slash, like different things, like it has Amazon on it, not the link, but it has Amazon on it. It would be if an algorithm tells techniques and stuff, so I think logically. So imagine with me if those guys sit down in their software to Casini and said, I want this algorithm, if I put Amazon words, flags. So imagine with me differently. So if somebody who copied from Amazon and copied to the listing, definitely would be flagged. So that's I speak logic. I don't know. I might be wrong. This is the way that I look at it.
right. So what you're saying is that if Amazon appears in the HTML of your listing, right, and eBay develops an algorithm that searches through everybody's listings.
They already have this. They wouldn't need to develop anything. It already exists. Okay. Yeah.
But if they decided, I guess, to implement it more, then it might.
They would just have to look at, because like that's why I was saying that eBay already has a system to identify that you have links in your description. And if you share like a phone number, it will flag it. Same thing if you have a link, like an actual hyperlink to another website, right? You can have, as far as I understand, you can have links to other websites, but you cannot have links to other marketplaces. So eBay can already see this. They might not necessarily have a custom system that shows them that the links you have say Amazon, but they do already have a system that flags links in listings. Right. So it wouldn't be too much of a stretch for them to use that existing system, which makes sense, because really it doesn't make sense that they're just going to do one thing to try and identify dropshippers. They would take like a more statistical approach and use a lot of different tactics to figure out how to identify them, using whatever services they already have available whenever possible, because then they don't need to create new things. But it's interesting because I've never heard of this before. So it's an interesting point. I really wish that we could hear solidly what you were saying, because like I can kind of piece it together, but the people who listen to this call won't be able to understand.
Did I understand though correctly though? If they decided to use,
I don't know if you heard me properly now or not. I don't know if you do hear me properly.
Not properly, but better.
Better is not good enough. I mean, I really want information so people can talk about it. And
yeah, I'm super excited. So soon I will be making these twice a week. But I told this person I was going to hang out with them and help them out. So I've got to go, and I think I will end the call now. And then thank you guys so much. This is really awesome. And come back next week. I would be so thrilled to see you guys next week.
I want you, Jack, to go to my channel and have a look at it and tell me later on.
Sure. Yeah, and feel free to, you guys can schedule time with me if you want. Somebody I looked at my phone earlier and looked at my email, and somebody paid $30 or $20 for 30 minutes of non-recorded conversation. Like this morning, they did that. I was like, "Holy crap! No one's done that before." I was super excited.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway, as long as we make a YouTube video, then you guys can literally just think of it like you are I wake up and I look at my Calendly, and then it's like, okay, at this time, call this person and record it. Like, so you setting up a Calendly link for me, that's literally what you're doing. You're just like, okay, Jack, you're going to call me on this day and you're going to record what we talk about. And so feel free to use that. Abuse it. You can use it for whatever you want.
Well, definitely. So I hope that I have people who watching this video got some good information, and do it definitely. I'm gonna book you.
Yeah, next week. I'm excited to learn more about you guys and your YouTubing interest, because I can tell, like, so one of the things with this call is every person who has joined and actually shown their face has had some kind of YouTube affiliation, or they've made videos at some point, or they've been on other people's channels. So it's super interesting because it is something we all share in common, which we can use in the future. So I would love to learn more about you guys' interest in YouTube in particular, and about your channel, Asad. But for now, I will end the call.
Will definitely.
It was awesome.
Good to see you. Good to meet
you guys next time. I won't leave for like an hour in the middle of my call next time. I seriously, I did not even a single part of me thought that you guys would stay on the call. I thought that I was literally just streaming my empty room. Like that. So I'm so surprised, like so genuinely surprised that you guys stayed. That's super cool.
And we won't leave we'll never, I won't, and without you being on it or anybody else, like, no, won't do that.
That's funny because that thought didn't even cross my mind. Like, it shows kind of, this is one of the things about me as a YouTuber that annoys people, to be honest. Like, there are times where I'm just like, I'm just me, I make videos. Okay, that's what I do. But it's not super serious. I don't view my life as my role to fix other people's problems. So that's not what my YouTube channel's for. Just an expression.
Well, that's goal. That's my goal. Actually, my goal is, like, to help you. That's the most duty. It's not like just do content, crazy content, and thing. But people have to help it. And help, support as much as you can.
It's fulfilling. All right, guys. See you next time.